end of the floor is going to be the key for the Portland Trailblazers tonight.
Mike Barrett, Mike Rice, Rebecca Harlow have the action for you coming up. Michael and I will be back at halftime with the McDonald's Halftime Report. The Trailblazers, the Raptors on Comcast Sportsnet. Enjoy the game.
Hey, it's no big deal to get pure Northwest water delivered right to your home or office. Cold Kiss makes it easy. There's no long-term contracts, minimums, or drop-off charges. Just pure Northwest water right at your fingertips. Check out Cold Kiss bottled water. Northwest fresh and pure.
People ask me why I need my Chevy Silverado. I'll show you why. We're going to surprise some kids today, and they have no idea we're coming. Man, we can fit a lot back there. I think we're here. This could get a little... Basketball! There you go. You're welcome. There you go. You can have one. There you go. That's why I love my Chevy Silverado. There you go. Yeah.
Looking to make the most out of your next party or event? Call PartyWorks. PartyWorks will turn any party or event into a fun and exciting experience that everyone will remember. With the Northwest's largest selection of interactive games and events, PartyWorks has something for everybody, like the football toss, Rocky Mountain Climber, Jumbo Trikes, giant slides and bouncers, plus much, much more. Make your next party an event to remember. PartyWorks, we're serious about fun.
Friday in Sacramento was the second game of a back-to-back. That usually means a Portland win. Brandon Roy had another big night, and the Blazers swept the short two-game trip. Now it's back home as they'll try and sweep the series from the Raptors. Chris Bosh is back for Toronto, but they've struggled through this Western swing. Nate McMillan's crew is out to make sure that continues. It's the Blazers and Raptors from the Garden, and it's coming up next. Back home in Portland to begin the final stretch. 14 games remain now, 7 home and 7 road. Everything huge right now inside the Rose Garden tonight. The Trailblazers, who have won 8 of their last 10, host the Toronto Raptors, who have been on a slide in the East. And welcome courtside, everyone. Mike Barrett along with Mike Rice. It was all business for Portland on Friday in Sacramento. How does Nate make sure that continues at home now?
Well, with 17 games left, I don't think Nate has to say anything to get the team ready for a home game.
Well, Toronto was hoping they'd catch another gear when they got Chris Bosh back. It hasn't worked out that way, but he's still very dangerous.
Yeah, Chris Bosh, you have to think about him. He's only shooting 37% since coming back from that injury, but he's still number 5 in the NBA in rebounding, 8th in scoring, 24 a game. He's got 41 double-doubles, so he'll try to get LaMarcus in foul trouble, no doubt about it. LaMarcus, by the way, averaging 20 points on 52% shooting in the last 27 games. He has 19 double-doubles on the year, as high as 4 blocks against Houston. This is going to be a high-scoring game. They're going to need him to block some shots, get some rebounds.
And speaking of a double-double, Bosh averaging a double-double, 24 and 11. You see LaMarcus Aldridge's numbers on the season coming off a nice game and a very nice second half in Sacramento on Friday. Brandon Roy coming off 2 very nice games on that road trip, and that's one thing that became clear on the trip. Roy is back. Now the Blazers will try and continue the positive run here at home, where they've been less than stellar at times, especially against the East. We'll set the starters when we come back.
Coming up Monday, Unwanted, Adventure Host. Those that survive the opening round will now lay it all on the line.
I feel like I'm wanted.
9 spots are up for grabs as the competition heats up.
There isn't anybody in there that wants this more than I do.
Challenge both physically and mentally. It's all or nothing when faced with elimination at day's end. Which 9 will be pushed to their limits as they are thrust into the outdoors? Find out next time. Unwanted, Adventure Host. Presented by Fred Meyer. Monday at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay, so every truck is trying to spin, bend, and slice the stats their way. They're claiming the best this, the highest that, the most of something else. Look, here's the most important stat of all. For the 33rd straight year, more people put their hard-earned money on a Ford pickup than any other truck. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty, best-selling for 33 years.
Get a 2010 F-150 with up to $5,500 cash back. Go to CompareFord.com, then visit your Northwest Ford stores today.
This is not more benefits at greater cost to your company insurance. This is not how does it fit in my company's budget insurance. This is help protect and care for your employees at no cost to your company insurance. With Aflac, your employees pay only for the coverage they want or need, and the cost to you, nothing at all. If all you know about us is Aflac, then you don't know quack. To find out why more businesses provide Aflac, visit getquack.com.
McDonald's Bacon and Cheese Angus Third Pounder. As if it wasn't enough to make it with a full third pound of 100% Angus beef, they had the audacity to use, yes, a third strip of bacon. Have they no shame? Angus Axiom number 39. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Bite into tangy barbecue with the new Chipotle Barbecue Bacon Angus Third Pounder. Juicy Angus beef and sizzling bacon smothered with Chipotle barbecue sauce.
There are over 400 players in the NBA.
And we know we're lucky for many reasons.
Yes, we're lucky for all we've received.
But we're luckier because we have the ability to make a difference.
Well, our goal as players is to win games.
Our responsibility as people is to give back.
We're committed to that philosophy because we know as players in the NBA,
we have a responsibility to be citizens of the world.
This is not good.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Man.
Oh, no. Come on, not today. Oh. Mom?
Uh-oh. Good low prices on what you need today. Fred Meyer. What's on your list?
Fantastic.
Closed captioning of tonight's telecast is provided by Bi-Mart. Celebrating 40 years of Portland Trail Blazers basketball. Blazers basketball is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. By Les Schwab Tire Centers, where doing it right is what we do best. And by McDonald's. Try McDonald's Angus Third Pounders with 100% juicy Angus beef. It's beefier beefiness. I'm loving it.
Well, a couple of teams headed in opposite directions as of late. Toronto 1-5 in the month of March. Blazers 5-1. Starting lineups brought to you by Clears. Super fast mobile internet. Jarrett Jack, DeMar DeRozan in the backcourt for Toronto. Turkoglu got booed soundly when he was introduced moments ago. Chris Bosh and Andre Bargnani inside. For the Trailblazers, starting five, Andre Miller, Brandon Roy, Nick Batum, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Marcus Camby. This starting five, 7-1 on the season. Starting lineups brought to you by Clear. Super fast mobile internet. Blazers rolled over the Raptors in Canada, of course, in late February. They can earn the series sweep with a victory here tonight, and things remain drum tight in this Western race. No time to relax, but 4 days off after this one tonight, a rare break for the Trailblazers, kind of like a second All-Star break. Rice's Keys and a check with Rebecca when we come back, and we'll tip it off.
Why will you enjoy doing business with Rasmussen BMW? First of all, Rasmussen people. They work with you to get you the car you want at a price that works for you. And with Rasmussen's best price policy, you'll never have to worry about whether you got the best value possible. It's all part of Rasmussen BMW's legendary buying and ownership experience. Discover the Rasmussen difference. You'll find it only at Southwest Jefferson at 20th and RasmussenBMW.com.
I'm a shrimp blogger. I've traveled the globe to find the perfect prawn. So when I found out Taco Bell had Pacific shrimp tacos with 6 succulent marinated shrimp, I had to try one immediately. The new Pacific shrimp taco, only at Taco Bell.
There's a moment at night when you gotta have fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
And back here inside the Rose Garden, sold out for the 106th consecutive time. Trailblazers and Raptors tonight. Time to get you the Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game. For those, we turn to the coach, Mike Rice.
Well, everyone feels this will be a high-scoring game. I think first to 100 will put the pressure on the other team. They'll win. Points off of turnovers, since they're going to go up and down, the team that can score a few turnover points will be in good shape. Hold Toronto to 45% shooting. There's got to be some defense in this game, and if the Blazers hold them to 45, they'll win the game.
Those are the Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game. For the Corona Coaches Corner, we turn to assistant Dean Demopoulos.
It starts with us and what we do with the ball. And, of course, we've got to make sure we have energy and effort every time to try to defend every possession they have and take it one possession at a time, try to stay in the moment. And, you know, when you accomplish little goals along the way, the big ones take care of themselves.
Well, let's check in quickly with our sideline reporter, Rebecca Harlow. Good evening.
Mike, good evening. We're going to get things started on the floor here, but quickly as we do, I just want to fill you in on the Blazers and how well they're doing on the road. They've won 7 of the last 9 and 19 and 15 for the season. They're hoping to build that same kind of momentum here over the next couple of ball games.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. As Turkoglu starts things off with a 3, and, you know, people wondered with him getting booed as soundly as he got booed tonight in the starting lineups, how he would react. Would it serve as motivation? It certainly did the first time these teams played. Yeah. Turkoglu had a great ball game, 24 points, and he was 8 of 9.
And believe me, he'll shoot. He's used to big ball games.
Aldridge goes up and under, left it short, tried to grab his own miss and couldn't pack that down.
Interesting, the matchups tonight. The Blazers,
Bargnani misses the lay-in this time, and Portland has it back.
The Blazers have L.A. on Bargnani, and they have Marcus Camby on the high-scoring Chris Bosh. So they don't want to get L.A. into foul trouble. I think it's a good move.
Brandon Roy has his shoe untied, but will play on. Here's Aldridge, drops to Bosh, dropped it around Bosh to Camby. Tough pass for Camby to catch around his knees, but he still collected himself and put it in.
If you make the extra pass against Toronto, you will score on them. You'll get a lot of assists.
Foul out top by Camby. First foul, obviously first team foul on Portland. Well, for the Trailblazers, we've talked so much in recent days about their road success. And what a difference. And some of it can be attributed to who you were playing. But Portland has been averaging. Miller hit by Bosh, offensive foul. In Portland's last 10 road games, they've averaged 106.3 points a game. In Portland's last 10 home games, 91 points a game. That's a 15-point difference, road to home.
It's amazing, and that's why the Blazers are so good on the road, because they can score out there and they don't try to be too conservative. At home, I think it's just Brandon Roy doesn't get going in the first quarter. He lets his teammates get in the flow of the game.
Had 24 at halftime at Golden State, had 20 at halftime at Sacramento. Here's Bosh, top of the key. Of course, Brandon had 38 through 3 quarters at Golden State, ended with 41 in that ball game on Thursday night.
Well, both Bosh and Bargnani will go outside. They'll bring the Blazer big guys way outside.
Here's Aldridge again from the perimeter, this one around and out. And the rebound claimed by Toronto. Raptors are struggling right now. They've lost 8 of 9. They came out west, played the Lakers tough. In fact, a game that arguably they could have and maybe should have won, but then lost at Sacramento. And last night were blown out at Golden State. Bargnani grabs the rebound for the second time and puts it up and in. Toronto not a good rebounding team as they play kind of that inverted offense with Bargnani out at the edges.
Yes, and
Miller takes it inside, hit hard. Rebound taken by Aldridge, and he puts it in.
Boy, Nate is up screaming at the underneath official because Andre Miller really got banged in there.
Turkoglu out to Bargnani. He did not have a great game the first time these teams played, but he hits the jumper here. Blazers won in Toronto on February 24th. Blazers held the Raptors on their home floor to 87 points, and they had scored 100 or more in 21 straight before that game. Brandon Roy's first attempt is well short. Rebound, though, kicked out to Miller. New shot clock for the Blazers.
Well, Bargnani is second to Channing Frye in centers with 3-pointers, so he'll bring the Blazer big guys out, and he can make that 3-point shot. He has 93 made already.
Camby, a long 2 for him, is short. Another offensive rebound. Aldridge, bucket, and he's fouled.
And that's what the Blazers can do, and that's what you do against this team.
6 rebounds for Aldridge already.
Yeah, and the Blazers aren't a great offensive rebounding team without, of course, Greg Oden and Joel Prisbilla. But against this Toronto team, it's one of their weaknesses. And they will foul you and put you to the foul line, and likewise, they get to the foul line a lot, and mostly that's Chris Bosh.
Aldridge misses the free throw, but 6 rebounds and 6 points in not even 4 minutes played in this ball game for LaMarcus. Jarrett Jack, easy pass to Bargnani. Blazer breakdown defensively there.
Boy, and that was too easy. Jarrett Jack had no pressure on him. He could have shot a layup, and he passes to an open big guy.
Now, last night after their loss at Golden State, Chris Bosh openly ripped into his team in the post-game news conference and challenged them, said, we're not playing like a playoff team. We come out and expect to have things go well for us. They don't. And so a lot of people keeping their eye on Toronto to see how they'd react off of that. So far, so good for them.
Yeah,
and as we've talked about, Portland at home has started so many games flat. As Turkoglu has it against Batum. Pass over the top to Bosh, collects himself and puts it in. So Portland off to yet another slow start here on the home court after they've been so sharp on the road.
Well, it's just a matter of how you want to play against this Toronto team. Everybody that beats them on the road just outscores them. Golden State, perfect example of that last night.
Nicholas Batum a long 3, and he rattles that down over Turkoglu. And so Brandon Roy, as you talked about in the pregame show, last couple of games he's really tried to establish himself early. Jarrett Jack goes high off the glass with the left and scores. But at home, Brandon oftentimes will wait and try to get his teammates involved. Not the case on the road with him.
Yes, and right now it's just the Blazers are playing defense like Golden State. Basket for basket. And that won't make Nate happy.
Foul before the shot. No free throws coming for Aldridge. But the foul is on Bargnani. Take a look at Jarrett Jack here. Just turns the corner. And the Blazers worked on that in the shoot-around before the game, that high pick and roll. And didn't handle it well there.
You have to step out. Of course, Jarrett Jack has beaten out Calderon.
Nice pass. Batum cuts, misses it. There's Aldridge. Another rebound and 2 more points.
Yeah, and They just don't box out well. Chris Bosh now gets about 8.5 defensive rebounds a game. Other than him, if you take him away from the basket, they have no rebounders.
Toronto 7 for 9 shooting. DeRozan to Bargnani. Here he comes from the elbow, threw it up long. Rebound pulled down by Miller. There's changes coming already for the Raptors. Brandon Roy back to Camby. Bounce inside. Aldridge goes with a hook shot this time. He's in double figures with 10. Also has 7 rebounds through half of quarter number 1.
And that's what Golden State did. They just scored. They don't have great inside men, but they just kept scoring in the paint against this Toronto Raptor team that gives up 108 points a game.
Here's Bosh against Aldridge. The cutter on the backside is DeRozan, and he reverses it in. So I think teams have read and seen on scouting reports that pass over the top, the skip pass on Portland's defense works.
Yes, the Blazers were all looking to help out. I don't know against who.
But again, Toronto 8 of 11 shooting. LaMarcus Aldridge tipped up and in by Camby with the left hand on the weak side. So Portland, who offensive rebounded on the last road trip. They had 22 of them at Golden State, already 7 tonight. But another easy look for Toronto inside. Portland's defense non-existent so far.
Yeah, it's a case of will the Blazers' offensive rebounds beat out Toronto's layups and dunks? And I knew he'd call a timeout. No matter what the score is, he can't stand defense like that.
Raptors 9 of 12 to start this game. It's been Aldridge for Portland, keeping him right there.
A couple years ago, Les Schwab saved my 4th of July. My tire had blown out on the freeway. Luckily, the tow truck driver was able to call the manager of a Les Schwab tire center. And while I know this might not happen every day, Bruce Ward arrived and opened the store.
Hi there.
I was so impressed, especially when I found out Bruce left a family barbecue to help.
Happy 4th, Nancy.
If there's such a thing as an award for awesomeness, Bruce deserves a bunch of them. I'm Nancy Schutz, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Merlin sees a championship.
I want to look ahead like everybody else does, but I want to look back too.
What do they do to get better? Somebody step up.
To see everything that the Wild One does over the course of 2 hours, you really need the visual experience. Oh, there's Merlin.
Make sure to catch Trailblazers courtside right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wells Fargo knows that everyone has a vision for their future. Everyone has a someday they'd like to reach. It could be saving up for your kids' college, or buying a home, or it could be retirement. That's why for over 150 years, our mission has been to make the road that leads you to your someday a little easier. Seize your someday. Wells Fargo.
Well, Trailblazers trying to make it 6-1 in the month of March and trying to get a home win here against an Eastern Conference team. Blazers not nearly as dominant against the East as they were a year ago. Well, Blazers season ticket holders, push for the playoffs is right now. And you can renew now to secure your playoff seats. Deadline March 16th. That's just 2 days away. Renew online at renew.trailblazers.com and receive a talking.
Yeah, if you look at what the timeout was all about, it wasn't offense because LaMarcus Aldridge getting any shots he wants. They're getting offensive rebounds. The timeout was all about defense. When you let Toronto shoot. So Nate had to talk about defense. Chris Bosh 3 for 4. Bargnani 3 for 5.
Rebecca Harlow on the sidelines. What do you have?
Well, Marcus Camby was the defensive specialist that was getting involved with the guys in that last timeout. He's saying we're leaving their wings open on the weak side corner. We can't give up that shot. As Brandon Murray hits a shot, let's hope they can get the defense going on the other side. But Nate wants them to be more aggressive.
75%, and Portland has the lead, so I guess that's a fairly good sign, even though the defense has not been what Nate McMillan wants. Turkoglu getting booed every time he touches the ball. Jumper over the top is good by Amir Johnson, who's in off the bench for Toronto.
Well, they hope Amir comes in and plays a little more defense, but he's shooting 61% off the bench. And that's why he's in there for Banyani.
Roy fakes the 3. Now drops the 2 to Camby, the fake 2, and he drops to Aldridge. Beautiful leave by Marcus Camby.
Well, if you like offense, you've come to the right game. You could make a clinic movie on both of these teams scoring on each other.
Blazers double. One that has killed this Blazer defense in their rotation as of late.
Nicholas was helping out in the middle. You don't have to help out in the middle unless Bosh touches the ball. And they left Turkoglu wide open. You can't do that.
Roy cut off. Camby trying to go to the hot Aldridge again. Already 12 points. He gives to Miller. He drives and lays it in. Leaned right into Amir Johnson and put it in off the glass. So first field goal for Miller.
I said first to 100. It'd be a high-scoring game.
That might happen in the first half.
I didn't think it'd be in the first half. Man, you're right there, partner.
Turkoglu bumps off Nicholas Batum right in the chest, and Tony Brown saw that and whistles Turkoglu for the offensive foul. Marcus Aldridge out, Juwan Howard in.
Well, they had great chemistry early in the year, as you see Rudy coming into the ball game.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, a very active
Opening quarter, 6 of 11, 7 rebounds, 12 points. Roy fouled on the floor by DeMar DeRozan.
Now what this will do, Turkoglu will go inside now with Rudy. He wasn't doing that with Nicholas. It'll be interesting to see the matchups that go on now with the Blazers.
Who makes the most fuel-efficient midsize cars in the world? Ford. Fusion and Mercury Milan hybrids get an amazing 41 miles per gallon in city driving. How about the world's most fuel-efficient SUVs? Ford Escape and Mercury Mariner hybrids at 34 mpg. Right now at Landmark, we have a special allocation of more than 20 hybrids, but they always sell quickly. So see us today at Landmark Ford Lincoln Mercury in Tigard. We're just off I-5 at the Haines Street exit. Get more, spend less.
Right now, money is flying out of your wallet till you switch to Cricket. Because for a limited time, you can get unlimited talk and text for the low price of $25 a month. Just call 1-800-545-8164. Plus, right now, save on phones with our huge red tag sale, including this navigation-ready Kyocera for just $39.99. There are no contracts to sign, no overages, and it's all on our 3G network. So don't delay. Switch to Cricket and put your money back where it belongs.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Respect for your wallet. Cricket.
Due to technical difficulties, we are moving forward in tonight's action. Foul on the Raptors, and Reggie Evans, who didn't play at all last night, checks in now for Bosh. There's the zip pass.
Yeah, and Brandon does that. If they play on the outside of Brandon, waiting him for to get a down pick, then he'll stand in there. And if you have a good point guard like Andre Miller, he'll find him. See, that time they played him straight up, and Brandon got the ball right where he
Defensive
wants it.
3-second technical. Far side, Nate McMillan with the help. I'd love to see a statistic at some point. How many defensive 3-second calls are made in front of the opposing coach?
Yeah. And in the first half.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, they
but especially, and called by the official closest to the visiting or the opposing coach.
Yeah, it would be quite a stat.
It seems like it almost always is the case. But sometimes it's one of those things that maybe you need a little reminder to take a look at the situation. They can't watch everything, and they do an amazing job with what they do watch. Here's Rudy. Down the middle with the left hand, missed it. Camby tip off, trying to keep it alive. And the rebound gathered in by Toronto, and here comes Calderon. Sonny Weems in there as well. Nobody gets on Turkoglu, and he misses the 3. Blazers have left some three-point shooters wide open for Toronto. Last couple of possessions.
Now this should be a good matchup for Bayless on Calderon. He can go on him.
Here's Roy wanting to go on Weems. Rudy catch and shoot another three. This one's down. Boy, last couple of games, last 5 games, Rudy 18 for 29 now from behind the three-point line. That's really the hottest clip in his young career.
Oh, absolutely. He is feeling it now, and Brandon looks for him.
Calderon right down the middle, lays it in. 7.2 left for the quarter. Roy with 5 seconds. Roy for 3 over Weems. Hit as he was going up. 3 free throws coming. Weems drifted right under Brandon, and you can't come under a shooter. It's an automatic foul. Just like the other night to close the first quarter in Sacramento.
Yeah,
watch Roy here. Weems comes right into him. See the angle. And hits Brandon. Easy call to make.
Very easy.
Brandon's last 2 ball games, 69 points. 24 of 35 shooting, and the reason I brought this up, I was going to say, has been rock solid at the free throw line, 19 of his last 23. But he misses the first of 3 here.
Well, he can make the next 2, and the Blazers will have a 2-point lead going in to the second quarter.
And they got to feel pretty good seeing the gaps in the defensive game plan so far. Toronto shooting 74%.
Yeah, and the Blazers, the guys that were in the offensive team that were making it really go, LaMarcus Aldridge and Nicholas, are out of the game. They'll be in, I am sure.
As Calderon with it from midcourt, missed the shot, and we are through 1 quarter of play in Portland. Calderon saying, hey, I was fouled. As quarter number 1 comes to a close, Blazers shoot just 46% compared to 74%, but they lead it. And the Blazers have to be happy with that. Brandon Roy in the early going, 7 points on 2 of 5 shooting. He did get to the free throw line, shot 3 of them, hit 2 of them, of course, on that last possession. But talk about Brandon early. What's Toronto doing against him?
Well, early it was all LaMarcus Aldridge. That was the game plan. You could see. And lately, Brandon Roy, now they want to get him. When they took LaMarcus out of the game, that was the time to get Brandon Roy involved in the offense. They liked what he did against the Warriors and the Kings, so they want him into the flow, not just giving it to his teammates, and now Brandon is in it.
Well, Corona and the Trailblazers giving you the chance to get miles away and relax Corona style with an all-expense-paid trip to Cabo. All you have to do is show off some of your skills. We do know what those skills are, by the way.
Yes.
We'll explain in a moment. During a Blazers game, and you could win. Enter by April 1st at any Corona display in participating retailers or online at trailblazers.com. It's some kind of a hacky sack thing where you throw the hacky sack.
It's wild.
It is?
Yeah, I read it what it is.
There you go. Well, Trailblazers early on, talk about now, in the pregame shoot-around, they talked a lot about defense, especially out on the edge, how to handle that pick and roll. I got to think Nate's spending time in this particular timeout reviewing those instructions.
You have to be very careful of talking about in a timeout about too much defense, because you're going to beat this team scoring against them. They let you score, and they can score. So if you emphasize defense too much, it takes away from your offense.
Rebecca Harlow, let's throw it down to you. What do you have?
Well, Mike Barrett, you are on the exact same page as Nate McMillan right now. He is talking about that pick and roll defense, but specifically he's talking about spacing on defense. He's saying that up front on that pick and roll defense, the guys need to play up just a little bit further, because he feels like the guys on back and D aren't having room to get into their sets, work on their spacing in the back, and therefore it's leaving that 3-ball open in the corner. So he wants everybody to press up just a little bit so they've got some room to move.
Well, and that skip pass has, again, been kind of a pain to Portland as of late. Golden State certainly used it to their advantage. How many corner threes did the Warriors have wide open in that ball game? Take a look at the stats through 1 quarter. There's the hot shooting by the Raptors, although they trail.
Look at that, 74%. How do you shoot 74% and you're behind?
Beginning of the second quarter here in Portland, Blazers on top 32-30. Portland coming home after a couple of good road wins at Golden State, at Sacramento. And Toronto wrapping up a 4-game Western road swing. They've lost all 3 so far to the Lakers, Sacramento, and Golden State last night. We want to welcome all of those of you watching us on NBA TV, both nationally and internationally. We're at the Rose Garden in Portland. Shot clock at 10. Big changes for the Blazers. Travel by Juwan Howard. That is the favorite call of NBA officials this year. They always, the old rumor was the old cliche was they never called traveling in the NBA. But you watch the college game, especially during March Madness, that particular move never gets called in college, and all of a sudden now it's the only thing that gets called in the pros.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great up fake by Juwan Howard. And I really thought he put the ball down before he lifted the pivot foot up.
Well, Portland got to the magic mark of 30 points in the opening quarter. Blazers on the season, 11-1 when scoring 30 or more in the opening quarter. Martell Webster back to Rudy. Zip pass behind the back to Webster for 3, and he hit it.
Well, they have Reggie Evans in there, and he'll close out on LaMarcus Aldridge much better than Bargnani did in the first quarter. But what he's doing, he's staying out on LaMarcus, and he's leaving gaps in the middle for the Blazers to penetrate.
Bargnani holding inside. Rudy picks it away from behind, and Rudy always kicks it up to play against his countrymate, Jose Calderon. And Rudy doing the same thing tonight. Just about took a 3 there. He had a great ball game in Toronto a couple weeks ago. Nice to get Martell Webster on one of those hot streaks. Aldridge started the game off hot, this time long, but look who grabs the rebound again.
If they're long rebounds, Rudy can do that.
Nice pass to Aldridge cutting down the middle. 14 first half points for LaMarcus. Rudy Fernandez everywhere early in this ball game.
They may have to bring Chris Bosh back in because the Blazers defense isn't that much better. It's just that Chris Bosh is out of the game.
Foul up top.
Yeah, that was a foul.
On Juwan Howard. Watch Rudy Fernandez with the assist here. A little dump pass to Webster out at the 3-point line. Then watch this one. Backdoor goes Aldridge. Is everybody watching Rudy on the perimeter, and he knows that.
Well, he's not a great closer, Rudy, so I don't know, why you have to.
Calderon left his feet, had nowhere to go, had to throw the ball at the rim. Blazers come away with it, but then turn it over themselves on an unforced error right in front of Toronto's bench.
Well, they bring Turkoglu back in the ball game. That'll settle him down and give him somebody to go to. Martell Webster like they would have if Roy would have been on Turkoglu.
Bargnani into Aldridge. LaMarcus tried to draw the offensive foul. It was a good no call. And now Turkoglu out top already has 2 3-pointers. Howard switches on to him. Turkoglu trying to get Howard to bite. Now takes him inside.
And doesn't get the roll.
Rebound. Aldridge hits it. And a loose ball foul. Reggie Evans. The push on Aldridge.
Reggie Evans is one of the guys in the NBA, every shot that goes up, he's going to hit the offensive board. No question. So if you don't box him out, you can't say, well, I didn't know if he was going to rebound or not. He's going to hit the offensive board, and he's going to hit it hard. So if you get a body in front of him, you may pick up a call.
Portland 7-point lead. This is their largest so far. Marcus Aldridge already 14 points in this game. Lob. Oh, Aldridge from Rudy Fernandez. As those two have connected a couple of times here in the last few minutes.
Well, when Rudy starts scoring, he can pass then because they'll have to come out on him.
It's a 9-0
Portland run. And it's been Rudy Fernandez
who has keyed this run for Portland. Dropping dimes all over. And look at Aldridge with the flush there. It's time for a fan favorite. It's the Blazing Hot Deal from Napa Auto Parts. As you know, it's the place you go to get the good stuff. I can't wait to see what they've come up with for tonight's Blazing Hot Deal.
Maximize the performance of your vehicle and make it last longer with a Napa Gold filter. Right now, take 40% off these regular price oil filters, air filters, or cabin air filters.
All right.
40% off.
Now that's a Blazing Hot Deal. Okay, fans, get into your local Napa Auto Parts before it's gone.
McDonald's Bacon and Cheese Angus Third Pounder. As if it wasn't enough to make it with a full third pound of 100% Angus beef, they had the audacity to use, yes, a third strip of bacon. Have they no shame? Angus Axiom number 39. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Bite into tangy barbecue with the new Chipotle Barbecue Bacon Angus Third Pounder, juicy Angus beef and sizzling bacon, smothered with Chipotle barbecue sauce.
Coming up on Comcast Sportsnet.
Friday, March 19th at 7 p.m. against Al Thornton and the Washington Wizards. Saturday, March 27th at 5 p.m. against David West and the New Orleans Hornets. Catch all this and more on Comcast Sportsnet. Your home for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Game on.
Well, one of the more creative signs tonight was the one you saw flash a moment ago. Mrs. Turkoglu, thanks for Andre. Of course, that's the story we explained a moment ago. Well, Blazers annual spring break hoops camp coming up March 22nd. You're ready to learn how to play Trailblazers basketball while perfecting fundamentals and get a chance to meet Brandon Roy, LaMarcus, Rudy. They'll be making appearances. Register today at trailblazers.com/makeitbetter. Well, look at Rudy Fernandez, what he's done since he's been in the game, and this doesn't even include his rebounding so far.
Yeah, they're letting people go up the middle. Rudy, not a great closer, but he is an excellent passer on the move. Now Bosh back in the game. The Blazer defense picked up, took 2 timeouts to do it, but let's see if it can do it with Bosh in the game.
Blazers go under the pick on Calderon, didn't attempt the 3. They're trying to go back to Bosh. Bargnani to Calderon, and there's the long 3 at the shot clock buzzer. He got it off. It would have counted. Blazers finally corral the defensive board. I'm not sure if Calderon knew the shot clock before it was down to about 2.
And that was great defense by Juwan Howard playing on the side of Bosh with Rudy helping out from the weak side, coming over and then getting back.
Toronto 0 for 4 here in the quarter. Bayless holding against Calderon. Shot clock at 3. Bayless, does he know it? Got Bosh in the air. They call an offensive foul on Bayless, and I think that was a good call.
Yes, it was. Bayless was trying to draw a foul, and he did, his own foul. He did go right into him with the shoulder. There it is there. Bosh held his ground and kept his arm straight up.
Didn't leave his feet at all.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that call. So turnover-wise, that's Portland's 3rd. Blazers have been very efficient with the basketball as of late.
Here's the play that can hurt the Blazers right there. He's a great elbow jump shooter, and if you go out too much on him, then he gets to the rim because he makes about 8 foul shots a game.
He's 5 of 6 from the field and has 10 points already. He and Aldridge, the only 2 players in double figures. LaMarcus, the catch against Bargnani. They're paying attention to Aldridge now. You know that. They skip it. Far side, Rudy. Open angle 3. This one around and out. And you're almost shocked anytime it doesn't go in right now. That's how hot Fernandez is. Turkoglu, Bargnani left wide open for 3. Off again. Rebound tipped by Bosh. Tipped by Aldridge. Taken by Rudy. Bayless. Cross-court pass. Martell puts it on the deck. Rudy says, I'll throw another one at the rim, and this one's down.
Blazers really moving the ball from side to side. That's how you hurt Toronto. They do not close on 3-point shooters. They're number 28 in the NBA at giving up 3-pointers.
Toronto shooting 60%, yet trail it by 10. Calderon, top of the key. That one rolls in as Howard goes down, and Bosh trying to help him up.
Calderon coming off that pick and roll. If you don't step up and change his direction, boy, he can make that shot.
Rudy kicks it back to Howard on a little pick and pop. Juwan, shot that he normally puts down. This one off the mark, and here comes Calderon in transition with Turkoglu. Back to Calderon, wouldn't take the 3, finds Bosh inside. He's fouled, and a nice foul inside. I say that only because Martell Webster fouled him hard enough and held him so he couldn't get the and 1. Here's Rudy's 3 from a moment ago.
Yeah, see how the ball goes from one side and see how slow they are on closing on 3-point shooters. Golden State had a career night against this ball club last night, shooting 3s as Monte Ellis and Curry just between them, I think had 64 points. Half of them coming on threes.
Bosh misses the first free throw. Brandon Roy, Andre Miller back in for Portland. Martell Webster checks out. And Bayless out as well for Portland, but Martell Webster did some good things in that shift.
Yeah, it's just, you know, when you're using 10 people, you always feel like, ooh, I'm just starting to get the feel. And Nicholas will come out, and then Martell will come out. But the Blazers have, you know, bodies that can help them win games going down the stretch, maybe in the playoffs. Speaking of that, did you see Greg Oden coming out all in
full gear on before the shoot around? Yeah.
Full practice.
Not sure if that's an indication of anything, but he looked good.
Yes, he did.
Greg continues to say, I'd love to come back before the end of the season. We'll have to see. That'll be a nice bonus if it happens. Rudy over Turkoglu. Clock winding down. Howard had a chance at the rebound, but it was poked away by Calderon. So now the Raptors trying to mount a little charge here midway through the second. Has been led by Bosh. That was fortunate for Toronto. Aldridge poked that away. Then Miller's fouled in the backcourt. As Antoine Wright, just going after the ball, ran down. Andre Miller. Well, Portland shooting 47%. Their biggest lead has been 10. It's 7 right now.
At Jack in the Box, we believe in trying new things, like my grilled sandwiches, the delicious turkey bacon cheddar, and awesome deli trio, both made with premium deli meats and cheeses on grilled artisan bread. To new things! New things! New things!
Show me the Carfax.
Hi, I'm your Carfax. Buy the car, you're gonna love it.
He said Carfax.
Same thing, huh?
A Carfax report can help you choose a great used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
Hey, it's no big deal to get pure Northwest water delivered right to your home or office. Cold Kiss makes it easy. There's no long-term contracts, minimums, or drop-off charges. Just pure Northwest water right at your fingertips. Check out Cold Kiss bottled water. Northwest fresh and pure.
Hi, I'm Don Pearson of Wells Fargo.
And I'm Nate McMillan of the Portland Trailblazers.
Please go to OregonMentors.org to find out how you can be a mentor.
Wells Fargo and KGW, leading mentors. Together we'll go far.
Welcome right back to the Rose Garden, where the Blazers have a 7-point lead. I've got the president of the company. Always a pleasure to have you, Larry Miller. We have 106 straight sellouts. It's just incredible how much support there is for this team. What does that mean to the organization?
Just a testament to the great fans that we have here. We've made this building, our fans have made this building one of the most dreaded places in the NBA for other teams to come in and play, and we just appreciate all the support the fans here have given us.
Now, there's a very big day happening in 2 days. What's going on?
Well, in 2 days, on Tuesday, is the deadline for our renewals and to guarantee tickets for the playoffs, which with all the adversities this team has had over this season, to be in a position where we are to make the playoffs, it's just a testament to the resiliency of this team.
And as this team continues to improve and grow and get better and better, these tickets are going to get harder to get.
They're definitely going to get harder to get, so I would recommend get out and get your tickets by Tuesday so that you can come here and enjoy this great crowd.
Thanks, Larry.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Blazers president Larry Miller and Rudy Fernandez busts another 3 toward the end of the interview. So what a start for Rudy. 10 points early on, and it hasn't been just the points. He's been everywhere, offensively and defensively. That ball dropped by Turkoglu, and it's out of bounds to Portland.
Yeah, Andre didn't try to get it. He just made sure Turkoglu didn't get it. Turkoglu did a terrible job. Rudy Fernandez has made a couple of big threes already in this game. So Hito gets caught behind a pick. So they could run Rudy off a couple of down picks, have him curl on the other side. They are. They're running Rudy now off of some picks on this side.
Got to get while the getting's good, huh?
Yeah.
Brandon Roy. Brandon just 2 of 5 early on. He hasn't needed to score with Aldridge and Rudy. That pass tipped away. Rudy trying to pick it up when he's fouled. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on Toronto. Blazer fans love the fact that Rudy willing to dive on the floor. Foul is going to be on Turkoglu, not willing to dive on the floor there or on the previous play, and the Blazer fans letting him hear about that.
Well, it was a great sign, and Turkoglu has to go out of the ball game. Thank you, Mrs. Turkoglu, for Andre Miller. I loved it.
And he leaves the game now
to a standing ovation.
We said before the ball game, the way things happen, Portland wouldn't have had Andre Miller. Had Turkoglu kept his word on 2 occasions and indeed signed with Portland. Brandon, tough too, over Antoine Wright, and Brandon will get going. There's no question about that. It's just a little odd because the last 2 games he's done it early, but not tonight.
Well, and Toronto has a little better defensive team in the ball game now to try to stop. They played good defense on Brandon.
Bosh had that poked away by Camby right off of Bosch's knee, and we go the other way. It's Camby and Aldridge. So good at deflections at the defensive end. Both strips like that and just defensive deflections. You saw Brandon's too.
It's a guy like Bosh usually gets to the foul line on that type of play. They'll go to Bosh now with this lineup in there.
Roy down the middle, puts his head down. Offensive rebound, Miller.
I'm always amazed every offensive rebound he gets. He gets them all with heart.
It's already 11 offensive rebounds here in the half for Portland. Roy getting a pick from Camby. Now Camby pops to the open spot. Open 18-footer is down. As Brandon Roy picks up assist number 3 and already 6 points for Marcus Camby. Calderon all the way down the right side scores. So Calderon off the bench with 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Kind of picking up where he left off after the Golden State game. 22nd timeout. Andre Miller was hit on the nose and he's bloody. Calderon didn't mean to hit him, and Jay Jensen out to check Miller right now. Timeout will go full. Blazers by 12. 3.5 left first half.
Imagine having an internet service that lets you video chat at the dog park.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, I'm at the dog park. Or check in on your kids from your commute. Well, now it's entirely possible, thanks to Clear. Clear has built a brand new 4G WiMAX network that turns Portland into one big hotspot. So you can get online in more places. Choose the Clear plan that's right for you. Home, mobile, or both, with plans as low as $30 a month. Just call or visit portland.clear.com today. With Clear, you can play an online game outside. Or watch live HD sports on a bus. That's because Clear is 4 times faster than internet from a cell phone company. Clear internet plans are as low as $30 a month. Get yours today. Clear. Super fast mobile internet.
You recognize this art? We all helped create it. You see, up close, it's a picture of 60,000 plastic bags from retail stores. Here's another 400 plastic bags, about what the average family uses in a year. Now picture these 3 reusable bags from Fred Meyer. They'll replace those 400 bags. They're strong, convenient, resist tipping, and they're easy to carry. So come on, it's the right thing to do. What's on your list today?
Bob Camby and Michael Holton in the home court studios. We thought that the bench would play a big role in this game. Rudy Fernandez knocking down the threes, but he did something else too. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, he's laying treats on them. I like this set, the pick and roll, and because Juwan Howard punches up the lane, there's nobody home to show, and the timing of the pass and the catch. Ooh, look out below, a little turbulence.
I believe the flight attendants will be picking the cabin up early for that one. Let's get you back courtside. McDonald's halftime report coming up right now. More Mike, and Rebecca.
All right, thank you, guys. 3:39 left first half. Look at Rudy's productivity in this first half, and that only is about half the story.
Yeah, the story is that
take a look quickly at Andre getting hit in the face by Antoine Wright. That's why he was bleeding. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's when he did it on the offensive rebound, but he went back out and set the Blazers up for another basket before he checked out of the ball game. He's a warrior.
Blazers' largest lead here in the half has been 14. Toronto is still shooting 61%. As Bayless thought Brandon was flaring to the angle there, Brandon was more of a curl off the pick and just threw it away. So Blazers don't have many unforced turnovers. In fact, Portland's second best in the NBA, averaging only 13 turnovers a game.
But tonight, the reason that Toronto is...
Jarrett Jack for 3, cans it.
The reason they're 9 down, Toronto, and shooting over 61%, they've given up 11 offensive rebounds. That's why the Blazers have 12 more shots than Toronto. So if you let the other team shoot a high percentage, you better rebound.
Roy working against DeRozan from 10 feet around and out. Aldridge offensive rebound, hooks it back up short. Maybe hurried that one a touch, and the rebound Bosh.
But he knows now he's owned Bosh on the offensive boards. For some reason, Chris Bosh not hitting the board on the defensive end.
They pick and roll. Bayless is down trying to cover Bosh. They go over the top with it. And foul is going to be on. Boy, that should not be a shooting foul. It didn't appear.
Yeah, he came down with it.
The whistle was blown well before he went up to look for the shot. Take a look, and you won't be able to tell here.
He faked, and then he was losing the ball when the foul came. Man.
Third team foul.
And Andre Miller asked him, now, was he going back up? I think the ref had a bad angle to see that. Because at one time before he dropped the ball, his hands were going up, but he dropped the ball, and then the foul was committed then. Bosh has really improved his body, and he'll be, of course, an unrestricted free agent. So he'll be one of the guys that everyone's bidding on when the bidding starts this summer.
Well, one of the criticisms of Portland at home, they've built leads all season long of double digits, and like in this game 14 points, but they tend to allow teams to come right back into ball games and never really are good at putting people away. Not that you'll do that in the first half anyway. As Batum back in the ball game comes back in and hits an angle 3. That helps out.
Yeah. And it just, Nicholas, I'm amazed at what he can do. He'll play 7 minutes and then he won't come back in. So to get his rhythm back immediately is amazing.
Calderon misses that jumper, and that rebound, a nice timed tip by Amir Johnson. That ball appeared to be off the rim. And a nice job by him. So Toronto shooting 61% now. Andre Miller inside, got to go up with it. Batum another look at a 3, wouldn't take it. Roy does take a 3 and buries it out top. Portland 8 of 11 as a team from behind the three-point line. Blazers a good three-point shooting team, but not 60% good, or actually 72% good.
Well, if you look at what Toronto gives up.
Well, but some of them have been covered. I know that one.
Yeah, but they don't close on shooters. Some teams just close on shooters, and they don't want to give you a three-point shot. Blazers don't do that.
Andre was out front against Calderon and appeared to almost want to take the foul. Portland has one to give. Not anymore. Calderon will shoot free throws now as he was driving to the middle, but Jose Calderon playing alongside Jarrett Jack right now, as we mentioned earlier. Calderon, who last season, even season before, one of the hot point guards everybody was rumored to be after, Portland being one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and a missed free throw by Calderon. You never see that.
Never. Well, they make 20 free throws a game. They're number 3 in the NBA in that category, and they've only been to the line 6 times tonight. So Blazers doing a nice job in forcing them from the outside.
Calderon missed 3 free throws all of last season.
Yeah, I know it.
He splits a pair there. Blazer lead is 10. Miller throws it at the rim, nearly gets it, but will shoot free throws. And that puts Toronto at 14 fouls with still just under 90 seconds here for the quarter. Blazers just 3 of 5 at the line. They made a living from the foul line at Golden State and at Sacramento. 29 for 32 on Friday night at Sacramento.
The Raptors have gone through different things with Coach Troiano this year as far as wanting to play defense. Not before the All-Star break, they had really good chemistry, and right now the only thing that's keeping them, they were up to 5th in the playoff race, and the only thing that's keeping them in the top 8 is all Noah's injury in Chicago, and Chicago's on the losing streak, but their defense has just left them. And at one time they said, well, we'll change our defenses. We'll go zone. We'll go trapping. We'll just do a lot of things to confuse the other team. Well, they went through that period and they confused themselves. So right now, they just straight man-to-man and not doing well at it.
Blazers leave Bosh momentarily. He tries to get Camby into a foul, then hits the jumper anyway. So Chris Bosh having a half. He didn't play the first time these teams met. Was back on February 24th, but 15 first-half points for him. Roy baseline, skips it out to Camby. Dropped into Aldridge over Bosh. Rebound, Calderon. 1 minute left first half. Portland by 10. Their biggest lead has been 14. Of course, Bosh and Aldridge, both from Dallas. So LaMarcus wanting to have a good ball game against him. They lob inside. Deep catch, block shot, Batum. Amir Johnson didn't know he was there. Now Portland in a 2-for-1 situation. And you can bet Andre Miller knows that.
Would love to
zip out. Batum takes an angle 3. Got another one.
Andre Miller just sniffed that out all the way. He just backed Calderon up and said, now who's going to help out? They helped off of Nicholas.
9 of 12 as a team in the first half. Is that fool's gold or not?
No. Against Toronto, if they're giving you that, you keep shooting it till you make it. But you don't forget about LaMarcus inside. He was very effective early.
Blazers have a 20 left to use. Calderon to the rim. They won't use their 20. Miller with 4 seconds. Miller, pull up, 2, tipped by Calderon. Aldridge nearly tipped that in, and the half comes to a close as Calderon with 11 off the bench for Toronto, helping the Raptors hang right there. But Toronto, they go to the locker room shooting 62% in the first half, yet they trail it by 11. Trailblazer 3-pointers, and Rudy Fernandez the big reason why.
I'm a shrimp blogger. I've traveled the globe to find the perfect prawn. So when I found out Taco Bell had Pacific shrimp tacos with 6 succulent marinated shrimp, I had to try one immediately. The new Pacific shrimp taco, only at Taco Bell.
There's a moment at night when you gotta have fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
Coming up Monday, Unwanted, Adventure Host. Those that survive the opening round will now lay it all on the line.
I feel like I'm wanted.
9 spots are up for grabs as the competition heats up.
There isn't anybody in there that wants this more than I do.
Challenged both physically and mentally, it's all or nothing when faced with elimination at day's end. Which 9 will be pushed to their limits as they are thrust into the outdoors? Find out next time. Unwanted, Adventure Host. Presented by Fred Meyer. Monday at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay, so every truck is trying to spin, bend, and slice the stats their way. They're claiming the best this, the highest that, the most of something else. Look, here's the most important stat of all. For the 33rd straight year, more people put their hard-earned money on a Ford pickup than any other truck. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty, best-selling for 33 years.
Get a 2010 F-150 with up to $5,500 cash back. Go to CompareFord.com, then visit your Northwest Ford stores today.
Welcome
to the McDonald's halftime report.
Excuse me, is this a non-stop flight? Yes, it is. 60-49. Portland. We're just into that airline metaphor, but that's kind of half that's been. And now, some trends developing. The way the bench plays, the early aggression. LaMarcus Aldridge. It happens more than once, it's a trend.
Oh, yeah, if it happens more than once, and we have pictures to show you why it's a trend. LaMarcus Aldridge got busy early, got the Trailblazers out of the gate, if you will, and he got the Trailblazers going with that feathery jumper. But look at the spacing. Because of the strong side action, the skip pass becomes available. And then now LaMarcus on the duck end. The ball swings. This is called a duck end in the low post. You punch right up the lane, and you give your man a facial. LaMarcus Aldridge, and then staying with the play, Juwan Howard showing a little point center skills, or it's Marcus Camby dishing, and LaMarcus finishing big to big. That's good interior passing.
LaMarcus Aldridge has 16 points and 10 rebounds. Double-double in the first half, 8 of 17 for the field, and even 3 assists. And why does he have all those rebounds? Because he got on the offensive boards. In fact, the Blazers had the offensive rebounds big time. They just had 22 offensive boards against Golden State the other night, and they're off to a great start tonight.
Well, we said in the pregame show that hitting the boards would be an opportunity for the Trailblazers in this game. And offensive rebounding. Tip, that's Moses Malone style. LaMarcus getting, I think, a couple of offensive rebounds and an and one. And then LaMarcus staying around the rim. The closer he plays to the basket, the more positive things happen on the glass. A little pick and pop, and Marcus Camby cleans up the miss. The Toronto defense is getting rotated frequently.
And LaMarcus has 8 of those offensive rebounds. Rudy Fernandez off the bench. Here's another trend. Coming off the bench, knocking down threes. And, of course, he was part of that big highlight along with LaMarcus. But the threes really created some separation. 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Well, Rudy's at peace with his game. I mean, look at that. That's just laying treats on him. He gets the O board and then distributes. That's doing a little bit of everything. And now behind the arc, he shows you his range. If you don't get to Rudy, he can get that thing up and down as quick as anybody in the association. Now for set play, America's play comes through. They close the door on the screen. He still goes pump fake, 1 bounce 3. Pump fake, 1 bounce 3. That is not easy to do.
5 of 6 games now. This includes tonight. Rudy has at least 3 3-point baskets. And the Blazers lead by 11 at the half. What's the rest of the league doing? What happened with that Utah-Oklahoma City game? Don't go anywhere. We'll have all those answers for you as we continue from the Rose Garden, the McDonald's halftime report.
All I saw was just a gray wall coming, and that was when we got in behind the stairwell.
We wrote the insurance just 5 days before the tornado hit.
Great to be able to call someone who's local and can answer your questions right away.
That's just what Farmers is all about.
I know with our old policy, we weren't covered as well. Things change, and you need to be changing your insurance to match it.
Are you this ready? Get to know a Farmers agent today. Find yours at farmers.com, because ready feels good.
Stop that king! He's crazy!
This king's insane! So much beef for $3.99. The world's cutting back. He doesn't even know it.
You're the one who's nuts.
New Steakhouse XT burgers from BK. 30% more beef than McDonald's Angus burgers, starting at $3.99. The king's going crazy.
Why will you enjoy doing business with Rasmussen BMW? First of all, Rasmussen people. They work with you to get you the car you want at a price that works for you. And with Rasmussen's best price policy, you'll never have to worry about whether you got the best value possible. It's all part of Rasmussen BMW's legendary buying and ownership experience. Discover the Rasmussen difference. You'll find it only at Southwest Jefferson at 20th and RasmussenBMW.com.
One morning, driving to work, my car started making this noise. I drove to a local service station, and they told me I needed new brakes. I decided to have Les Schwab do the work instead.
How can we help you today?
When my car was up on the lift, they noticed there was just a rock stuck in my left caliper, and my brakes still had about 80% left, saving me almost $300.
Be safe.
Thank you is not enough, but I hope it will do. I'm Cecily Fleury, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Nothing surprises me anymore. always knew he'd return.
Scorcher.
I knew he'd be back for more. I guess some old souls never learn. Luckily, I never get tired of teaching. Defending comfort is my calling. I am Bryant Man.
Qualify for up to an $1,100 rebate and up to a $1,500 tax credit. Go to Bryant.com.
This copyrighted telecast of the NBA may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used without the express written consent of the NBA. Log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for live press conferences and video highlights.
McDonald's halftime report continues from the home court studios. Bob Acamian, Michael Holton alongside. Let's get into the highlights of the other games. Let's get into Boston-Cleveland.
That's flight.
Ow. Glenn Rice, Antoine Jameson. No blood. Kevin Garnett. That's good for Boston, but Celtics, and everyone's reporting their demise, they can't win a big game right now.
That's not good news this time of year.
And I don't know if anybody can beat Cleveland right now except maybe your Orlando Magic.
Ooh, Kevin Garnett to the face of LeBron.
But LeBron, slow early, got 24 of his 30 in the second half. Cleveland 104, Boston 93. Utah, Oklahoma City, Kevin Durant in a good mood. Why? Okur's not playing. AK-47 not playing. Russell Westbrook is playing. Oklahoma City shot 60% in this game. Darren Williams did not, but he kept Utah in it. But they were always playing from behind. Wes Matthews had 29, so he tried to make it up from beyond the arc. But KD, his third straight game, scoring 30 or more, has 35. Oklahoma City's within a half game now of Utah after that win. Oklahoma City's 41-24, so they're now at the second 2.5 games ahead of the Trailblazers. But that's going to all end in about an hour and a half or so. Michael and I will be back after the game with the home court post-game show. Mike Barrett, Mike Rice, Rebecca Harlow, when we continue from the Rose Garden.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I always knew he'd return.
Scorcher.
I knew he'd be back for more. I guess some old souls never learn. Luckily, I never get tired of teaching. Defending comfort is my calling. I am Bryant Man.
Qualify for up to an $1,100 rebate and up to a $1,500 tax credit. Go to Bryant.com.
Merlin sees a championship.
I want to look ahead like everybody else does, but I want to look back, too.
What do they do to get better? Somebody step up.
To see everything that the Wild One does over the course of 2 hours, you really need the visual experience. Oh, there's Merlin.
Make sure to catch Trailblazers courtside right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay, so every truck is trying to spin, bend, and slice the stats their way. They're claiming the best this, the highest that, the most of something else. Look, here's the most important stat of all. For the 33rd straight year, more people put their hard-earned money on a Ford pickup than any other truck. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty, best-selling for 33 years.
Get a 2010 F-150 with up to $5,500 cash back. Go to CompareFord.com, then visit your Northwest Ford stores today.
Available at Miller Paint. Miller Paint. Your color, our paint.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Celebrating 40 years of Portland Trailblazers basketball. Blazers basketball is being brought to you by your Northwest-grown, employee-owned Bi-Mart. Just right for the Northwest. By Spirit Mountain Casino. the Northwest premier entertainment destination. By Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. And by Gatorade. It's the heart, hustle, and soul of the Trailblazers. That's G.
Trailblazers leading it by 11 here at halftime. Portland coming off a couple of road wins at Golden State and at Sacramento. And, of course, Toronto wrapping up a West Coast road swing and trying to get their first win on the trip. Welcome back courtside. Mike Barrett back with Mike Rice. Toronto shoots a high percentage, 62%. Not as high as they were earlier, but I'm sure Nate talked a little defense there at halftime.
Yeah, he had to, because the offense with 17 assists, really doing well. And you look at LA's 8 offensive rebounds. He never has 17 shots and a half, but it's because of his offensive rebounds that his shot total is so high. Look at there. They're shooting 62%, and they're down in double digits. Blazers, and there's the reason. 9 for 12 from the three-point line.
There you see free throw shooting, not a lot of trips to the line for either team.
And Toronto, that's one of their main assets on offense, so that is hurting them. Turnovers, we said that may be a key to the game, but it hasn't been.
17 assists.
Yeah, mainly because the Blazers have not allowed the Raptors to run. Bosh, 6 for 7, 15 points. And yet they're way behind because it's almost a push with L.A. getting 16 points. So anytime you can match Bosh with one of your big guys, Toronto will be behind.
Well, and we talked about rebounding early. Look at the rebound total numbers from that first half, 23-14. Blazers out rebounding the Raptors. Not a great rebounding team, the Raptors.
No.
Blazers middle of the pack as well, but beating them there tonight. All right, let's revisit your Ford keys to the game. First to 100, we could be there pretty quickly.
Yeah, the Blazers are on track to get there, but you never know about a Blazer team. The game could be very low scoring. Points off of turnovers, not a factor yet in the ball game because the Blazers have slowed it down when they need it to because Toronto's giving up such easy three-pointers. Hold Toronto to 45%. Woo, man, did we miss out on that one? I thought if the Blazers let them shoot 50%, the Blazers would be behind in this game, but I didn't expect the Blazers to shoot so well from the three-point line.
Well, here is tonight's Kia players card out of Villanova. Dante Cunningham hasn't played yet tonight. Villanova heading to the big dance. And boy, do they have their hands full in game number 1 against an inspired Robert Morris team that should have got a higher seed, maybe a 3 or a 4. Instead, they get a 15. Mike Rice Jr., even as we speak, is preparing.
And Dante was throwing him under the bus. He said, Robert Morris, who are they?
As we throw it down to Rebecca Harlow, she knows who Robert Morris is.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm a full supporter of Mike Rice and his squad there. But, guys, you asked the question earlier whether or not the 9 of 12 from the three-point line is fool's gold. So I checked in with assistant coach Monty Williams, and he says yes and no. He said on one side we are really liking the shots that the Blazers are getting. They are working for good shots, but at the same time he said a couple of those balls came off of broken plays. So in the second half they need to just continue to focus on the ball movement, work for the right shot, and continue to hit those threes. And defensively they want more pressure on that pick and roll. They're still talking about the same exact thing. It's letting Bosh get everything he wants, guys.
All right, thanks, Beck. As Jay Jensen out on the floor doing a little cleanup work. I think there was there were some dog races going on at halftime.
Oh, yeah, and the dog got excited.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was a little.
Sure looked like it.
I think there was a dog collision. There was a tiny bit of blood on the floor.
I thought it.
Meanwhile, Blazers at halftime. There's a couple of things that are just pop off the stat page. One of them, of course, 9 of 12 from behind the three-point line.
And it's all because the Blazers, see how they move the ball from one side to the other? Toronto just loses interest in getting out on shooters if you move the ball over 2 passes. So that is the case, and there's the guy right there, Rudy Fernandez, that benefits if you move the ball from one side to the other with his three-point shooting.
Well, the third quarter has been Portland's best this season, and it is by far Toronto's worst.
It sure is.
So this is a key stretch. Obviously, 12 minutes here for Portland.
But it's usually when...
Excuse me, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's usually when Toronto is behind in the game. Or I should say when they're ahead. Then for some reason they just kind of ease up. I guess they're hoping to win the ball game, but in 8 of the last 10 games, they've been blown out.
10 of the last 12, actually.
Yeah.
They've been outscored in the third. They were outscored last night at Golden State 41-25 by 16 in the third quarter. So you know they're out to change that. Turkoglu nearly had it stolen by Roy. DeRozan then does have it stolen by Miller. Andre against Calderon, tried to go behind the back, got it back and scored with the left. How did he fight off a couple of red jerseys?
And how about LaMarcus Aldridge and Bargnani really getting down the court in case they miss that layup.
Bosh drives around Camby and lays it in. Bosh was 17. And you can see Toronto, I mean, Jay Triano probably trying to do a little pressing. Maybe he'll mix up the defense. Anything to get his team snapped out of these third quarter funks.
Yeah, he was doing that a lot, of trapping at half court just to take the other team out of their offense.
Batum fouled by Turkoglu on the drive. It'll be a non-shooting foul. And keep in mind, I mentioned last night for Toronto, this is the, as you watch Miller here, this is the second of a back-to-back for the Raptors. They are 5-10 in the second of back-to-backs. Offensive foul on Andre Miller. Yes. The league leader in second game of back-to-backs, far and away, the Portland Trailblazers. 13-3 in the second game of back-to-back situations. Watch the Miller offensive foul. Wow.
How is that an offensive foul? He didn't move the pick.
Lob stolen by Batum. Calderon trying to go to Bosh, and then Bosh goes down in the backcourt. Meanwhile, Aldridge tripped up by Calderon. Will it be free throws? I don't think LaMarcus had possession.
No. Calderon talks to the refs more than almost even the San Antonio Spurs.
No.
So they, have a history of talking to refs. Or I should say,
well,
whining to them.
It pays off.
Yeah. I don't know if it does for Calderon, but the refs don't like.
Well, for the Spurs, it doesn't really matter.
Guys in your ear all the time.
Miller trying to post up Calderon. Roy still with it. Shot clock at 8. They are trapping Brandon well away. They want the ball out of his hands. Miller let the three. Bosh let him have the three. Wouldn't take it. Gets his own miss and puts it in. There's another offensive rebound by Portland's crafty point guard.
And crafty is the word to describe Andre Miller. Oh, how does he do it? He's just in there with the trees. And
Batum all over Turkoglu. Turkoglu just 6 points in this game. He started the game with a three. Bosh then from the outside. 4 white jerseys there to secure that defensive board.
Yeah. Toronto will start crashing a little bit more since they're behind.
Andre Miller had a great game the first time these teams played. He posts up and hits another one. So Miller at 10 points now. That first meeting, 18 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, flirting with a triple-double.
He had a great game down in Toronto. Blazers needed, as you said. Bosh didn't play in that ball game. And
this is now Portland's largest lead, by the way. Calderon holding against Aldridge.
Still with it. Turkoglu catch and shoot for 3, and he hits it.
So Turkoglu started the game with a 3, had another one midway through the first, and then hits his third here. 3 field goals, 9 points.
His favorite ploy in Orlando was he handled the ball and he'd go pick and roll with Dwight Howard. They don't do that in Toronto. They should with Bosh, because Calderon is a great pick and roll guard.
Aldridge over Bosh, and he hits it. And Bosh and Aldridge work out together in the summer in Dallas. Yeah, they're both having good nights. Aldridge 18, Bosh 17. And now it's Bosh's turn against LaMarcus.
They'll try to get a foul on him here.
Backs him down, goes left-handed baby hook and hits it. Camby left his feet. Ooh, Portland fortunate to get that back.
They sure were.
Miller down the right side to Batum. Steps back, checks the line, shoots a 3 and rim it off this time. And back come the Raptors. Full head of steam, DeMar DeRozan.
Well, the young man from Southern Cal.
Yeah.
By the way, his team didn't make the big dance. Southern Cal, only 2 teams, Pac-10. I think it was 1988, something like that, the last time they only had 2 teams.
But Toronto cuts it right back to 10 here. Aldridge down to Miller. Andre, short jumper. Camby follows it in. Another offensive rebound for Portland. Well, and you talk about impact rookies. Not only DeRozan, but Taj Gibson. You talk about a couple of USC rookies who have really had a nice impact on the league this season.
Yeah, and that's why the Pac-10's not doing well. They had
lost all their
so many draft choices. Yeah.
Bargnani, baseline jumper, rattles out. Camby, another rebound for Portland. And he's fouled by Bosh. Nice job by the veteran Camby to sell that call.
And we just saw up on our screen the second chance points. The Blazers are killing them because of this right here. The Blazers just, and since they've lost Prisbilla and Oden, they haven't dominated that offensive rebound department like they did last year.
Portland used to be, we just rack up the block shots, rack up the offensive rebounds, the second chance points, and then, of course, went a lot of this season without Oden and Prisbilla and had to cover by starting 37-year-old Juwan Howard, who's been spectacular for Portland this year. Aldridge hit by Bosh again, and another foul on Bosh. That's his third. He didn't like the call, neither did Jay Triano. But free throws coming for Aldridge. That was a crafty move. And Joe Crawford explaining why he picked up the foul.
Yeah,
leaned in a little bit, I guess.
And I like the way Bosh asked him. He didn't charge out in Joey's face because he had been teed up in a heartbeat. He just kind of walked up and he kind of, what did I do? And he told him, and then he left. So that's the way you get on the good side of a ref. Don't try to show him up.
And Aldridge hits the free throw.
Hey, Joey Crawford right there. The dean of officials.
Portland only 6 of 8 at the line in this game. Just haven't been there much. Hasn't been a physical game. It's been a game played at the perimeter.
Yeah, played without defense.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I was trying to get there in a nicer way.
Yeah.
Here's Turkoglu against Brandon Roy. Hito takes the short 2 and hits another one. So 11 now for Turkoglu.
I don't know why Brandon was on him. Nicholas has been on him. I guess it was just a mix match on the other end, and he got caught.
Portland trying to go to Aldridge again. Here's Batum. Oh boy, nearly picked up another foul on Bosh there as he was bumped and went down. DeRozan then packs it in on the other end over Roy. And Nate McMillan wants time. He's seen the lead go from 15 to 10 a couple of times here in the quarter, and it's back to 10. 6:25 left here in the third. DeRozan with the big flush on the break.
Our little friend here has spent 10 years trying to get your attention. But some of you still don't know quack about Aflac. So give me 10 seconds to fill you in. If you get sick or hurt, Aflac pays you cash, fast, to help pay for things major medical insurance doesn't, like car payments, mortgage, and more. And now, let's see if this stuff is chicken.
If all you know about us is, then you really don't know quack.
Frost brewed Coors Light. How cold is it? It's chilled down to 34 degrees. For a taste as cold as the Rockies. It's aged cold. It's filtered cold. And it's served in cans, bottles, and glasses that tell you when it's cold. Why? Because refreshment isn't everything. It's the only thing. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Back here at the Rose Garden in Portland, 10-point lead for the Trailblazers with 6:25 left in the third. Congratulations to Travis Shaw, a Blazers season ticket holder. He renewed his tickets and won an all-expense-paid trip to see the Blazers and Lakers in L.A. This week, another season ticket holder who has renewed will be chosen to win a new 50-inch LG high-definition flat screen from Standard TV and Appliance. Renew online tonight at renew.trailblazers.com. You'll also receive a LaMarcus Aldridge bobblehead that happens to talk. Well, Andre Miller, the aggressive Blazer here in the half, and the reason Portland still has a double-digit lead.
Yeah, look at him back in. Now they have to double team, and he turns away from the double team, Chris Bosh. Ronald McDonald did us right again.
Sure did.
Yeah.
What do you want, some fries?
I'd like a breakfast sandwich.
Oh, here.
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hensley, how about some of these snack wrap things? Douglas?
Ronald takes care of us. Look at this.
A couple of fries. Do you like these wrap things? There you go. Very generous is Ronald McDonald to us here courtside. Not a bad deal for McDonald's either, because he knows they always get a mention.
Yes.
We can play that game. Roy, Batum, far side, Miller. Andre gets Calderon off his feet and banks it in. Andre having a quarter, 12 now. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of those 12 coming here in the quarter.
He just changes the way that, like, the Blazers swung it. If Rudy is over in that corner, he takes a 3. Andre never shoots a 3, hardly ever, ever, ever. He'll dissect the defense and see what they're doing and then go from there.
Bosh over Aldridge, around and out. DeRozan, Amir Johnson tipped it, couldn't get it. Now Portland back the other way is, boy, Jay Triano trying anything now, and one of the things, of course, he's tried and been successful with here in the quarter is the fact that he's put Jarrett Jack on the bench and has gone back to Calderon.
Well, the way Calderon shot in the first half, I think I've done that too.
Shot clock at 5. Miller for a 3. Short. Camby up over the top trying to keep it alive, and I think that Joe Crawford is going to call Camby for a loose ball foul. And there is Jarrett Jack on the Toronto bench. We talked early on about how he stole the starting job from Calderon earlier in the year, but Calderon got the start in the second half here tonight.
Now, it's not that Jarrett Jack's 2 for 2, but Calderon is very, very hot, and Jarrett's probably not happy. He'd love to come back to Blazers and do well.
And he's been dropping assists, and there's another one there. That's to DeRozan. Calderon 6 assists, 11 points, and Calderon always among the league leaders in assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah,
Roy goes right past DeRozan, gets hit hard by Johnson, and he will get free throws. Well, as a line change coming for Portland. Howard, Fernandez, Bayless all checking in.
Yeah, and
although Rudy's going to have to wait, I believe, because Roy is the shooter. And Aldridge will be checking out as well. I don't think Roy's coming out there if Howard's going in for Aldridge. Normally when Nate makes his changes early in games, early in halves, he'll leave either Roy or Aldridge on the floor. Batum will check out, though, and
I'd love to.
It'll be Aldridge, indeed, and Roy will stay.
I'd love to have Nicholas play poker for me in Vegas, because you look at his expression. He never changes his expression, whether he's just dunked it or been dunked on or they're 20 up or 20 behind. You just can't read his expression. He'd have full house, and you look, he looks terrible. He doesn't have anything. Man.
By the way, it's already 5 team fouls on Toronto, so they are in the penalty. And an and one down the middle for Amir Johnson. And right now, you can see why Calderon is in there. He has got the Toronto offense clicking.
Well, especially on the pick and roll. Blazers are backing up on the pick and roll, and you see that time they kind of shadowed it, and Camby backed up on it, and they either have to get a little more aggressive with it or switch it or do,
Rebecca, what do you have?
Mike, you guys are talking about Nick's poker face, and I've asked him about that before, and he says, you know what, game time is work time. There's no time to be upset or excited. I wait until after the game to have any kind of emotion. I'm just working out there during the game.
And he's figured that out at the ripe old age of 21. Roy, baseline, skip pass. Bayless takes an open 3 in the corner. Not good. Howard then fouled from behind. And it'll be free throws. It'll be free throws anyway because Toronto's in the penalty.
Yeah.
Would have been a shooting foul because Howard got the offensive rebound. I guess that was the only thing that was left to decide there. Was it an offensive rebound? I believe indeed it was. Oh, a little pull of the jersey is what it was. And now Juwan will shoot free throws. There's Nick on the bench with the same expression you'll see throughout the ballgame.
Right. A business, as Rebecca said, a business look. And by the way, Bayless, very unusual for him to miss in March. He's #1 in the entire NBA in three-point percentage in March. Now, I know we're not deep into
that.
March, but you're right.
How many has he taken?
Not many, but he's 67%.
Am I going to ruin your stat if you tell me how many he's...
It would. But I'll tell you, he's a guy now that you have to go out and play. Remember earlier, everyone said, oh, he can't shoot. He 67% in March and leading the whole NBA.
And that's a credit to Bill Bano, John Townsend and company, the developmental coaches for Portland. They really Bayless works as hard as anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
4 ball games. Calderon has it against Bayless. They switch on it.
Yeah, well, finally, they took him out of easy basket.
Turkoglu has been booed every time he touched the ball tonight. Boy, Portland has gambled a couple of times and has left Calderon open. And an offensive rebound claimed by Bosh, and a foul going to be on Camby. And Calderon, as good as he has been tonight, he's been left wide open for 3 uncontested three-pointers and has missed all 3. Ooh, that was a pretty good block by Camby. But 2 free throws coming for Bosh. Well,
when you switch the pick and roll like the Blazers did, then Bayless has to get a little stronger, a little tougher. And that time he just kind of let Bosh do whatever he wanted.
And Bosh 4 of 5 at the foul line already. And there's free throw guy doing his thing. Did you spill your beverage?
I didn't think I did, but...
Was it Albert?
I think it was Albert.
Okay. Free throw guy. You're 7 of 9, free throw guy. You've been better. As Portland's lead down to 9 again. Rudy Fernandez, who was Mr. Everything in that first half for Portland. Spark plug off the bench. Now he goes past Turkoglu. Missed the shot. Offensive rebound, Camby, and he puts it in and gets hit on the head. And Rudy's complaining as well. He thought he was fouled on the drive, but the important thing is for Portland, they get a bucket out of it.
Now, Rudy never really shows his body to anybody. He's clever enough just to throw it up, so he won't get a call.
Bosh, foul line, wouldn't take the jumper. Now gives to Sonny Weems. Goes baseline, banked it short, tipped it. Boy, Blazers giving up offensive rebounds now as Amir Johnson puts that up and in.
And the Blazers have their 2 big guys in the game, Juwan Howard and Camby.
Brandon Roy, what a move to get around Weems. Got himself open from 12. Well, Brandon has struggled from the field tonight on those wide open jumpers. 14 points. Of course, coming off a 41-point game and a 28-point game in a back-to-back at Golden State and Sacramento. Amir Johnson wide open from 20. Blazers stand around and watch the rebound kick out to Calderon. Lob inside, Bosh at the rim, fouled by Howard. And people have wondered why Portland can't put anybody away at home. It's stretches like this that have been the killer all season long for Portland. They don't do it on the road, but they will get caught watching here at home. 2:28 left in the quarter.
You're ready for the big game? Is your TV ready to play? Come to Standard TV and Appliance with a huge selection of HD TVs and more at the lowest prices. The best brands, Sony, Samsung. Get the thrill of 3D TV now at Standard with a 60-inch 3D ready Mitsubishi 1080p for just $9.99. Take it from me, Bill Shanley. For the best prices on electronics, appliances, and more, hurry into Standard TV and Appliance.
Coming up Monday, Unwanted, Adventure Host. Those that survive the opening round will now lay it all on the line.
I feel like I'm wanted.
9 spots are up for grabs as the competition heats up.
There isn't anybody in there that wants this more than I do.
Challenge both physically and mentally. It's all or nothing and faced with elimination at day's end. Which 9 will be pushed to their limits as they are thrust into the outdoors? Find out next time. Unwanted, Adventure Host. Presented by Fred Meyer. Monday at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet.
McDonald's Bacon and Cheese Angus 3rd Pounder. As if it wasn't enough to make it with a full 3rd pound of 100% Angus beef, they had the audacity to use, yes, a 3rd strip of bacon. Have they no shame? Angus Axiom number 39. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Bite into tangy barbecue with the new Chipotle Barbecue Bacon Angus 3rd Pounder. Juicy Angus beef and sizzling bacon smothered with Chipotle barbecue sauce.
Well, Toronto still shooting 59% for this game and hanging tough, just down 9. The third quarter, as we mentioned, has been their Achilles heel as of late, but hanging in there so far. Well, the Blazers want to know where in the world our fans are wearing their Blazers gear. This is the Levin family in front of the crater Masaya volcano in Nicaragua, just south of Managua. Will Levin, Todd, Drew, Megan Healy, and Nancy Wolfson. Pretty good view. It looks like it's either early in the morning or late at night.
Yeah,
Andre
really?
Miller's been keeping Portland alive here. Thank you, Joey. In the quarter.
And he is. Andre Miller is taking advantage of what Toronto. Now, Toronto has played the three-point line much better. That's why there are lanes open to get to the rim. Simply because they're out taking away the three-point shot. So when LaMarcus goes back in, the Blazers have to work a little bit on getting him the ball inside. Right now, Camby and Juwan Howard can't take advantage of scoring in the paint because they just don't do that very well.
As it concerns the spilled orange soft drink, who gets the turnover in the final judgment?
Aldridge.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bosh hits the first free throw.
He tried to throw me under the bus because I wasn't looking when it happened. But, yeah, right there. This way. There
it is. Right turnover, Hensley. Portland only 7 in this ball game, by the way. But Toronto out tonight to end their third quarter suffering, and right now outscoring Portland in the quarter 24-20. So after getting shellacked last night 41-25 in the third, I'm sure this looks fantastic to Jay Triano and company.
Well, you know, they put guys like Amir Johnson in that'll play a little more defense, and the guy playing Brandon right now is playing defense a little better. So they've got some defensive guys in the game instead of just all offense.
Bayless has to hurl up a three, and he hits it over Calderon.
What I tell you about that 67%?
Oh. Portland 10 of 16 in this game from behind the three-point line. You said that wasn't fool's gold. I think it was.
Well, I think Toronto's just doing a better job.
Backdoor stolen by Camby. Boy, Calderon doesn't do that very often.
No. Camby just outsmarted him.
Bayless. They switch it. Bosh. Of course, Toronto over the limit. Camby ends up with a long two, and the rebound, Turkoglu. And here comes Calderon running the break. The trailer is Turkoglu. Kicks to Sonny Weems. Turkoglu, wide open three. Blazers have got to get to the corners, to the angles, and cover Toronto's three-point shooters. Portland, in fact, is fortunate. Toronto doesn't have more. They've left some of their hottest three-point shooters wide open, time and time again.
Yeah, that was nice penetration by Weems and kicking it back out. We haven't seen Bargnani. He's going back in there with Jared Jack, but they've held their starters out of the game.
Roy up and under, gives to Bayless for another three. And that's off the mark. Blazers not getting high percentage shots right now. Bayless, though, hustles and picks off the pass intended for Amir Johnson. Under a minute left here in the quarter.
And that's not one of Bayless's strong points, getting back on defense like that. He did a nice job.
Bayless through the middle, finds an open Rudy Fernandez. He has Turkoglu one-on-one. And now wants to take him. To the middle. Missed the shot, but he will shoot free throw. It was a crafty little scoop shot by Rudy.
And that's how he has to finish. He just can't come to the jump stop
never
or anything
conventional
like that.
with Rudy.
Right. See, he's doing a little European shuffle right here, backing up. But that time, Hito backed up with him, so Rudy went around him.
4 fouls on Turkoglu, who is now draped all over Joey Crawford. I'm not sure I would enjoy a close talker like that in an NBA game after he's played 28 minutes, but that's just me.
What, you talking about bad breath? Or
close talker, period.
Or
especially
underarm? Or
close talkers. Rudy made the first. Portland tonight, 12 of 14 at the line. This is Rudy's second trip. He had an and one earlier, and he hits a pair.
Yeah. And this is all
and there's
big.
the Spanish fans going crazy in the Blazer stands.
Yeah. Rudy keeps that 5 o'clock shadow look. How do you do that? Can you just?
They make razors to do that.
Oh, do they?
You're aware of that?
Okay. No, they won't let me.
They make razors to make you look just a little bit unshaven.
Oh, okay.
Might be something you want to look at.
Yeah.
5 to shoot. Jarrett Jack out to an open three by Bargnani. Tipped up and in by Johnson. Amir Johnson and Toronto's offensive rebounders, and I don't know if it's been more them or just Portland laziness.
Well,
5 seconds for the quarter.
A lot of it has to do with Blazers.
Roy at the horn, missed the shot. And the Raptors have to feel very good heading to the fourth, as we've mentioned their struggles in the third quarter as of late. But tonight, they outscore Portland 29-25 in the third, and we head to the fourth. Blazers always trouble putting teams away here at home, and it continues tonight.
What if you won? What would you do to something small like pay the mortgage for your best friend's room?
Thanks.
Would you save the woodland badger from becoming extinct, or adopt all the puppies in the county? Love. Take a retirement center on a month-long cruise, or hop a plane to Paris and buy all their shoes.
Expensive.
Lottery games are based on chance and should be played for entertainment only, not investment purposes.
A couple years ago, Les Schwab saved my 4th of July. My tire had blown out on the freeway. Luckily, the tow truck driver was able to call the manager of a Les Schwab tire center. And while I know this might not happen every day, Bruce Ward arrived and opened the store.
Hi there.
I was so impressed, especially when I found out Bruce left a family barbecue to help.
Happy 4th, Nancy.
If there's such a thing as an award for awesomeness, Bruce deserves a bunch of them. I'm Nancy Schutz, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
People ask why I need my Chevy Silverado. I'll show you why. We're going to surprise some kids today, and they have no idea we're coming. Man, we can fit a lot back there. I think we're here. This could get a little crazy. Okay, kids, who wants a basketball? There you go. You're welcome. There you go. You can have one. There you go. That's why I love my Chevy Silverado. There you go.
I'm a shrimp blogger. I've traveled the globe to find the perfect prawn. So when I found out Taco Bell had Pacific shrimp tacos with 6 succulent marinated shrimp, I had to try one immediately. The new Pacific shrimp taco, only at Taco Bell.
There's a moment at night when you gotta have fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
Well, San Antonio uses just effort to get back in the ball game in the third. They use 6 offensive rebounds and out-rebound Portland 11-8 in the third quarter, and we got a ball game heading to the fourth. Portland leading it by only 7. Wells Fargo, the official financial partner of the Trailblazers. Look at another Rice sign.
Oh.
Together we'll go far. Let's also go to the next game. There'll be more of Mike Rice coming up Friday. I'm sure she'll be happy to know. 7 o'clock right here at the Rose Garden. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off for Portland this week. Can you believe that? The Blazers have played more games than any team in the NBA, and payback is this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you see the stats. Bargnani, wide open 2. Boy, Toronto is just getting wide open look after wide open look. And the ones they're missing, their offensive rebounder.
And they've taken out Bosh and left Amir Johnson in, who's really hurt the Blazers. Now Bargnani goes outside.
Backdoor cut, Batum scores and he's fouled. Jawan Howard, the assist. And Portland has been able to answer, be it a three-pointer from Bayless a moment ago or three-point play the old-fashioned way. Here to Batum, but just enough to keep a cushion over these hot Raptors.
The danger thing of that is usually when clubs outscore this Toronto team, they're getting a lot of easy, fast break points. Tonight, the Blazers have 2. Toronto gives up 17 a game. So when you see those scores in the mid 110, 115, Blazers are doing it all on outside shooting, so that's dangerous.
And that's fool's gold we talked about earlier. Jarrett Jack puts a move on Rudy. He puts his shoulder down, lost control of the ball. It's out of bounds to Toronto. No, Portland, they say. As Tony Brown trying to make up his mind and did.
Well, the Blazers know the guards that Jarrett Jack loves to pump fake and go left. He goes left much better than he does right when he's driving.
Blazers know that well. Here's Bayless to his left. Threw it up long. He thought there was going to be a foul called. No contact, says Tony Brown. We go the other way.
I don't know about that.
Jarrett Jack begging for that ball at the angle. Was going to pull a 3. He's already hit 1. Now we have Jack and Bayless again. Bargnani slips the pick. And Lee misses the lay-in. Rebound picked up by Howard.
Boy, you got to make those. You got to make when you're coming back. You're 8 down. You can cut it to 6. You've got it, but that's not Bargnani's favorite spot around the basket.
It was an Aldridge type slip the pick. Batum open for 3, got another one. Nicholas Batum, 15 in the game, 6 in the quarter already, and 5 of 7 for the game. And behind that, Portland stretches it back to 11.
Well, he's played less minutes than any starter, Nicholas Batum. Boy, when he gets time, he makes them.
Pacific Office Automation, the West's #1 office technology dealer. Over 30 years of award-winning sales, service, and customer support, featuring the most respected names in state-of-the-art office technology. Whether your company is small or large, Pacific Office Automation is the name to trust for all your document imaging needs. Locally owned, nationally recognized, the one name to remember, Pacific Office Automation.
Well, Nicholas Batum has been the spark here in the quarter for Portland after the Raptors closed it to within 5. Blazers have led by as many as 15, but can't stretch out a sizable lead over Toronto here in the half. All right, draft like trivia time. Toronto selected Marcus Camby in '96 with the 2nd pick. Who was the first pick that year?
96, 2006.
He's a guy who is small in stature. Evidently, lately has liked to gamble a little bit, maybe even.
Oh, Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
huh?
there you
mentioned gamble. I can get those. That's a get.
That was too big a hint. That does not go in the win column for you.
It could have been J.R. Ryder.
I don't know if he gambles. Well, all right, we'll take a look at the Western Conference standings. This is why everything's so big right now. Phoenix is playing right now and leading, but the Blazers, coupled with the Phoenix loss, would pull them within percentage points. Blazers and Suns meet next weekend, next Sunday, a week from today. That should be a big one. That'll be down in Phoenix. Jumper out of the timeout by DeRozan off the mark. Rebound claimed by Rudy Fernandez.
Blazers go zone out of the timeout and leave DeRozan wide open. The rookie didn't know whether to shoot it or not.
Illegal pick out top, Juwan Howard. That's the other of the favorite calls. Well, the little shuffle travel on the start of the drive is the first. This is the second this year. It changes year to year, but this happens to be this year's favorite.
And if you're Bayless, you've got to wait till the guy gets out there to set the pick. He starts dribbling. Of course, Juwan wants to set a good pick, and he's moving.
Jumper inside. Amir Johnson's having a nice ball game against Portland tonight.
Well, to keep Bosh out of the game, a guy that averages 25, he's the career leader in rebounds, points, average for the Toronto Raptors career-wise, and he's on the bench. Amir better be doing well.
Here's Aldridge. Portland ought to look for Nicholas Batum. He's got the hot hand. Aldridge takes a very tough 2, and it's off the mark, and the rebound, Sonny Weems. Bargnani tries to slip another pick. Johnson again in the middle. Gives to the cutter on the baseline. Now Bargnani along 2, and he hit it. And as soon as Portland gets a double-digit lead, back come the Raptors. Blazers take a deep breath, and while they do that, and we've seen this at home time and time again this season, the opponent steps right back into the game. They're running Rudy off some picks now.
And it'll be interesting to see when they bring Brandon Roy back to the game.
Fernandez, how do you get that ball to Howard? Batum wouldn't take the 3. Takes a tougher 2 and hit it with 1 on the clock.
He has 17 points now and just over 20 minutes of action.
Jarrett Jack pick and roll with Johnson. Gets the roll. And a loose ball foul called on Amir Johnson. No, it's on Nicholas. No, it's on Amir Johnson. So made basket. They score the bucket, but Johnson gets the foul. First team foul on Toronto. And Rudy out. Tony Brown and Joe Crawford come together. Joey waved off the hoop. But then Tony reminded him the ball went in.
Yeah.
And Jay Triano was helping out as well. So Joey says, my fault. Don't get excited. But there you see Calderon and Bosh, two of the guys who really kept Toronto in the ball game in the third, now sitting on the bench and watching. They'll be back momentarily, I'm sure. Margani, meanwhile, has done a nice job against Aldridge. Marcus got off to the red-hot start, but has been cold since, and here come the Raptors again.
As we said, Brandon Roy is back in the game.
Jack down the middle, hits the cutter on the baseline, another lay-in for Toronto. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point game again.
And once again, Jarrett Jack, when he goes to the hoop, he goes left hand. Blazers stopped him going right. He doesn't want to go right.
Quiet night so far for Roy, at least by his standards. I don't think he'll get free throws. Second team foul on Toronto, though, here in the quarter. It's on DeMar DeRozan. And the Blazers, we haven't really seen him go through Roy much tonight, like we have seen in recent days.
Right. They're overplaying.
Turkoglu back in. You hear the boos, so you know that's
I'll tell you,
has to be.
The second unit hustle guys like Weems, Sonny Weems, and Mir Johnson, they have really been the sore spot for the Blazer defense, playing them.
Andre Miller trying to post up Jarrett Jack. Jack doing a nice job of forcing him out. Shot clock at 4. Roy has to take a desperation 3, and it's long. And Portland putting up a lot of shots against the clock right now, and they've forgotten how they built their lead, and that is with offense. Jarrett Jack, floater in the middle, off the mark, and the loose ball foul is going to go on Andre Miller as he shoved Amir Johnson. Look at Jarrett Jack going after Miller now. And Jarrett's still following him out, and Juwan Howard's trying to grab Jarrett Jack now, and Jarrett's just trying to explain some things.
Yeah, Andre.
And it wasn't malicious.
No. Andre was going to box him out, and they both of them tumbled to the ground. I think Jarrett Jack thought he grabbed him.
Jack baseline cut off by Miller. Roy had the steal, and then Johnson knocked it out of bounds, and Leon Wood says off of Brandon Roy. And Leon Wood telling Roy it went off his leg, and he had a good view of it.
Well, a lot of times he blinks.
Turkoglu back in there. 14 points for him in this ball game now against Batum. Runs over Batum. Offensive. No. Yeah, Joey Crawford overrules Leon Wood and says we're going the other way.
Yeah,
Leon Wood was going to count that bucket and call the foul on Batum.
He looked up to see if it was going in, and Joey and Triano
just ducked the shoulder a little bit.
He's looking down at Leon Woods and saying, now what did you call? And Joey said, I called the 5th foul on the guy that's going out of the game. Boy, that's a big call right there.
Sure is.
Oh, that was an and 1.
And Turkoglu going to stay for now. See if Portland goes after him. Andre down the middle, lays it up. No. Rebound Bosh. And when you let a team hang around, these are the times it hurts you for Portland. Bargnani off the fast break. Might have rolled a left ankle, it looked like, but I don't think it's that bad. Did he step on Brandon's foot as Blazers owner Paul Allen ends up with the basketball? Wouldn't look to be much of a foul there as Toronto broke back. And Mr. Allen, a nice catch of the basketball, and refused for a moment to give it back, which I don't blame him. But meanwhile, Bargnani now at the line can get Toronto to within 3. There's Mr. Allen.
We had a great experience with the Jimi Hendrix tribute to Jimi Hendrix in San Francisco.
Yeah.
When we were down there, and he said it was a great show.
He came to the game at Golden State.
Wheels and I and Antonio went to the Jimi Hendrix thing.
Did Bobby go too?
Oh, yeah, Bobby Medina was there. Sure.
Bogdani makes 1 of 2. But Portland now, after scoring 32 in the first quarter and 28 in the second and really flowing the offense, all of a sudden, and I hate to keep saying this, but at home again, it's turned into a grind-it-out, fight the shot clock kind of game for the Blazers.
Well, that's because L.A. and Roy can't get going offensively. And when those two early in the game, they were taking turns scoring, it was rather easy. A lot.
Quarter number 4.
How about a Bailey taking down, dunks it.
Even more Trailblazers coverage. Don't miss Talkin' Ball after every game on Comcast Sportsnet, featuring Ian Fernandez, Dwight James, and a special guest for every show. Past Blazers, former NBA and college stars. You just never know who might show up. Make sure to catch Talkin' Ball right after the Blazers postgame show tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Game on.
Tuesdays mean more at Bi-Mart. If you're a Bi-Mart member, you can win terrific merchandise on Lucky Number Tuesdays. Just check your number with those posted in the store where you bought your membership. Match your entire number on any given Tuesday this month, and you can win fantastic prizes like these. To transfer your membership number to the store where you shop now, just stop by customer service. Number Tuesday is just another way your Bi-Mart membership means more. This Tuesday, stop by your neighborhood Bi-Mart, just right for the Northwest.
A slice of life from Stark's Vacuums. Stark's Vacuums carries a complete line of Miele vacuums and appliances. Stark's, with 9 convenient locations. Open weeknights till 7, weekends till 5.
Shooting woes here in the quarter for Portland. 5:56 left. Blazers 3 of 9 shooting, and now shooting just 45% for the game. Toronto shooting 60%. And it's a 2-point ball game. Portland still with the lead. Time for the Coors Light Freeze play tonight. Coach Rice, take it.
Well, your 2 leading scorers are not involved in this. You see they pass into the high post. Let's freeze it right there. Now you see Jared Jack turns his head to the ball. We have Nicholas Batum cutting down the baseline, and Jared Jack has no idea where the man is that's cutting to the basket, and it's an and-one situation. So you got to always know where the basketball is and keep your eye on the ball and your man in a straight line.
Well, the Blazers at home this season, 21-13. And last season, 30. Stretch runs where and they have not dominated Toronto tonight by any means, but
no.
Growing leads as big as 15 in the second half, only to see the Raptors claw their way back in. Now, that being said, Toronto is shooting 60%, but there's been a lot of open looks, a lot of lay-ins, and a lot of Toronto offensive rebounds here in the half.
Yeah, see, Toronto is playing their game, trying to outscore the Blazers. The Blazers aren't playing their game, they're playing a little defense in the fourth quarter.
Now it's back to Bosh against Camby. Camby strips it away. Picked up by Miller. 3-on-2, 4-on-2 make it. Aldridge. Nowhere to go. Gives it back to Roy. Blazers a big-time numbers opportunity. Can't get a shot out of it.
See, and early in the game,
tight now.
They would have taken that shot.
Roy tries to draw the foul. Hit the shot.
Boy, and that's big strip by Marcus Camby on Bosh, who was about to take a bank jumper that he rarely ever misses.
Here's Turkoglu with Batum on him. Now Jarrett Jack, he's hit a corner three already. This one around and out. Bargnani over the back of Roy. They came together, both knocked it out, and they're going to say off of Toronto. So Portland gets it back. Watch Roy's shot here as he gets Weems off his feet right there.
He tried to draw a foul. I think it was a great no call by the officials because they didn't bump him. It was Brandon initiating a little bump, and good no call.
All right, Calderon back in. Jarrett Jack out for Toronto. So we're inside the 5-minute mark here in this game. Roy has it against Weems. Baseline, they keep shading someone off to help to the double team on Brandon. Missed the shot there. Rebound tipped by Aldridge and Miller right to Toronto. And they know Roy wants to take over here in the quarter, and they're looking to double him nearly every time.
Calderon will give him offense, but not the defense that Jarrett Jack would give him.
Bosh over Camby this time, hits it. So Chris Bosh, 25 points on 9 of 12 shooting. Toronto still at 61% for the game.
That's why Bosh is on the Olympic team. He's such a great little outside jump shooter, 14 feet, and also can get to the rim.
Once again, Portland fighting the shot clock. Miller's got to go up with it. Andre, elbow jumper, looks short, is tipped by Camby. Roy keeps it alive, goes right back to the rim and scores.
That's why he's number 2 in the NBA for guards on second chance points. Brandon Roy, Andre Miller hang around that basket.
The Portland fighting the clock, and there's still a lot of time left, too. They've gone into protect mode early again. Bosh squaring up on Camby. He just hit one over him. Here's a pass inside to Calderon, blocked by Camby. Miller with Batum, hesitation dribble. Nicholas was going to shoot the three. Tried to pack it over Bosh, and he'll shoot free throws. But there's a little smile from Nicholas.
Yeah. Notice he knew he couldn't pack it, so he turned it into a teardrop. Boy, what control of the ball.
Let Camby come over and just erase that attempt. Bosh met him and said, no way you're making a poster out of me.
And that was a great foul because you don't want him dunking, get the crowd into the game.
Batum 90% at the free throw line on the season, 43% from 3, 56% from 2.
If you're looking for a guy that's an all-around great shooter, you wouldn't think it, but it is Nicholas Batum.
He's all around pretty good at everything.
Yes.
And he's just turned 21 in December. 9 in the quarter for Batum. Actually 10 in the quarter for Batum. 19 for the game.
Now you'd rather have Bosh over there on the corner.
Cutter is Weems. Bosh to the middle. Camby, a nice job to finish the play off and block the shot. Otherwise it would have counted.
Oh, absolutely would have.
Camby shot a look back to Joe Crawford to let him know, hey, I'm just trying to keep the shot from going in. And Crawford shook his head, said, I know. And you're supposed to stop when the whistle blows, of course, stop playing. But if a player's going to get an and one, you got to make sure it's not going to happen.
Bosh is not the type in the fourth quarter, when he gets it, he's not going to give it up. He knows I'm the guy that has to make the big shot. Early in the game, he's not a bad passer. So the Blazers have to keep that in mind and squeeze him a little bit.
Is he going back to Toronto or is he going elsewhere?
I think he'll be elsewhere. There's just too many people with a lot of money to give out. Now Toronto will match that, but
they can offer more than anybody else.
Yes,
Toronto can, and understand the situation on their rights. We'll see. Toronto's got a good young roster.
It'll be an interesting summer. Oh, I like this matchup for the Blazers. they're keeping Bosh on the same side.
That's defensive 3-second technical, absolutely. And you don't see it called that many times late in the game, but in that situation with Bosh hanging right there, you got to make the call.
Yeah.
And Triano arguing it, but it was clear, even the people who don't really understand the rule, which is most people. 2:46 left in the ball game. 6-point Portland lead. Technical free throw when we come back.
This is not good.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Man.
Oh, no. Come on, not today. Oh. Mom? Uh-oh.
Good low prices on what you need today. Fred Meyer, what's on your list?
Fantastic.
Okay, so every truck is trying to spin, bend, and slice the stats their way. They're claiming the best this, the highest that, the most of something else. Look, here's the most important stat of all. For the 33rd straight year, more people put their hard-earned money on a Ford pickup than any other truck. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty, best-selling for 33 years.
Get a 2010 F-150 with up to $5,500 cash back. Go to CompareFord.com, then visit your Northwest Ford stores today.
No, it's not easy to save with 3 grown boys.
Not just 3 boys, triplets.
3 cheeseburgers with fries, 3 football uniforms.
Guys, just take turns. Everybody get a chance to lean back. They were fair.
3 college educations.
We showed them how online tools that come free with their Wells Fargo checking account could help them manage their expenses and save automatically. Times 3.
There you see, he's a 4th triplet.
Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Camby and Michael Holton in the Home Court Studios. The Home Court postgame show is on deck. Talking ball in the hole. Andre Miller, nice balanced night, scoring and dishing.
Well, this is why you got to get your hands up, your branches up. Doesn't quit on the play, gets a steal, and then comes with creativity, hand-eye coordination, a good left hand off the window. Andre Miller, that's what we call conversion.
Blazers already to 100, but it's a little bit of hang-on time right now. Let's get you back to the floor to the finish with Mike Barrett and Mike Rice.
All right, thanks, guys. More from Bob and Michael coming up in the postgame, as Bob said, and then, as Bob also said, a little talking ball right behind that. 2:46 left here. Blazers talking to a couple of assistants before the game and was explaining the fact that Portland has averaged 91 points per game in their last 10 home games and 106 points per game in their last 10 road games. And the quote I got back is it'll take about 110 to win this one tonight, and certainly on track for that as Miller shoots the technical and hits.
That was a big call. The defender was okay till he went into the lane.
There you see the graphic
stat right there.
it.
And it is difficult to explain. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
With almost all teams. You score better at home. You get calls at home.
Not 16 or 15 better on the road. That's crazy. Here's Roy against Turkoglu. Brandon step back, threw it up long. Going to struggle for Brandon tonight.
Boy,
6 of 16, and Turkoglu with the 5 fouls. Got to attack it.
Yeah, and he backed off Brandon, gave him that nice little baby jump shot. Brandon usually just sinks that. Boy, they're going into Bosh every time.
3-pointer for Calderon, wouldn't take it. Bargnani will. Left it short. Offensive rebound, Calderon.
The shot was so bad, it bounced off that front rim way out.
Here's Bosh trying to spread the Blazers out. Bosh takes the 2. Rounded out, rebound Miller.
These are big shots. And they're not getting any offensive rebound support, so Blazers are just...
Blazers have to continue to attack, though. That's something they've been guilty of in home games is not.
Well, Andre will attack.
Hands to Camby for the jam. Miller drew a triple team, and that left Camby all alone on the weak side.
It is so difficult in the NBA for a guard to be checking, or a guard post up. It's tough for their big guys to rotate out of that.
Toronto going to start looking for threes. Foul by Batum. And that'll lead the Blazers foul to give here, so no free throws.
Right. But see,
watch everybody come to help on Miller.
Yeah, Andre Miller brings him down, and they just don't know how to help on that. Look, 4 guys helped out and left it wide open. And you got your guard, Andre Miller, who's one of the great assist men in the NBA.
Calderon into Bosh, who had it poked away by Aldridge. Now steps back for three, and the rebound, Batum.
Well, they're just not doing a good job of really attacking the Blazers. You talk about the Blazers attacking Toronto.
Backdoor goes Roy. Three for Nicholas. Good!
Man, he is money. He is money!
Nicholas Batum. 22 points for Batum. It's a 12-2 run. Batum 7 of 9 from the field. And just throws up a dagger there with 1:11 left.
Oh, there it is. Thank you, Mrs. Turkoglu.
Insane! So much beef for $3.99. The world's cutting back. He doesn't even know it.
You're the one who's nuts.
New Steakhouse XT burgers from BK. 30% more beef than McDonald's Angus burgers, starting at $3.99. The King's going crazy.
Tuesdays mean more at Bi-Mart. If you're a Bi-Mart member, you can win terrific merchandise on Lucky Number Tuesdays. Just check your number with those posted in the store where you bought your membership. Match your entire number on any given Tuesday this month, and you can win fantastic prizes like these. To transfer your membership number to the store where you shop now, just stop by customer service. It's quick, easy, and free. Lucky Number Tuesday is just another way your Bi-Mart membership means more. This Tuesday, stop by your neighborhood Bi-Mart, just right for the Northwest.
Well, Nicholas Batum, the star tonight for Portland with the fourth quarter he's put together. 1:11 left. Batum is 4 of 4 in the quarter with 13 points, trying to slam the door on the Raptors.
The guy just does the right thing now when he starts, and they're working on it for him to put the ball on the floor. And I'll tell you what, he's making that outside shot. You've got to run out on him. And once he starts giving you a little pump fake and putting it down, look out for Nicholas.
Toronto to inbound. Calderon finally to Bosh, and they're probably in three-point shooting mode now. Toronto 5 of 14 tonight from behind the arc. Bosh goes around Camby. The foul is going to be on Camby before the shot, but it'll be free throws anyway. Portland in the penalty.
I like what Toronto just did. Instead of working any cut off of Bosh, they just cleared out one whole side and let him try to get to the foul line rather than shoot outside shots. Try to stop the clock, get some from the foul line. Good idea, but a little idea that's a little late in this ballgame, wouldn't you say?
Yes, indeed. Marcus Camby, even though he gets the foul there, as DeRozan and Johnson in, Turkoglu out, so I guess there goes the defense for offense.
Yeah, well,
offense for defense.
You know, when the Weems and Amir Johnsons, when they were in the ball game, and DeRozan, they were doing real well at scoring. And so if you're going to go through Chris Bosh all the time, you might as well surround him with some guys that rebound and play defense.
Johnson was certainly offensive rebounding. Aldridge, the one-handed rebound. He's got 20 and 12 now. And Batum brings it over midcourt under a minute to play.
Nicholas.
Hey, let him bring it up, too. He can do everything.
That's right.
Why not?
I'll tell you what. Nicholas saved this game.
Nicholas is in the corner again. Aldridge takes it at Bosh. Missed the shot. As we mentioned, Aldridge and Bosh, both from Dallas, both had the same high school coach after he moved high schools. And has glowing things to say about both guys. And even though Bosh has more points tonight, Aldridge has more rebounds, and his team's going to win. So I guess you say he wins the battle.
It was really a disastrous road trip for this Toronto team, 0-4.
And clinging now to 8th in the East.
Yeah, if you look at it, you say, well, we'll play the Lakers first, and that's the best game they played. They lost to the Lakers 107-105. Then they lose to Golden State and Sacramento. And then they come in here, and now they go 0-4.
Well, they got just blown out in Sacramento as well.
Hey.
And then last night was better, but
How about Oklahoma City? They beat Utah tonight. They moved within a half a game of home court advantage in the first round. Half a game behind Utah.
Blazers still play Oak City twice, too.
Yeah. Boy, this West is going to be something.
Foul on the drive. Blazers don't want that, but DeRozan throws it at the rim. Blazers, after tonight, have 13 left. 6 home, 7 road. And 6 now left against teams at 500 or better.
Now, both San Antonio and Oklahoma City have a difficult schedule in that above 500 teams. Yes. The difference is Oklahoma City has to play their above 500 team mostly at home, like they did tonight with Utah, and they beat Utah, whereas San Antonio has to go on the road to play a lot of their above 500 games, and they don't get a lot of rest time, and they don't have Tony Parker. So that's why a lot of people have their eye on San Antonio, and they just moved percentage points ahead of Phoenix for 7th spot yesterday. Phoenix down now to 7th.
And Portland right on their tail.
Yeah, San Antonio in 8th. And the Blazers are 1 game behind both Phoenix and San Antonio.
Batum, the block inside to cover the Miller turnover.
Just when my tooth was starting to hurt, Nicholas saved it.
Second block for Batum, and Miller here in trouble, has to call time. Not terribly necessary with the Blazers up by 11, but okay. Watch Batum cover the ground and say, Andre, I know you turned that over, but I'll cover for you here.
They don't even see him. They don't even know. Look at this.
Whoa. And he does that all the time. That's the amazing thing. It's Nicholas Batum. You know, we talk about, and the story of the Blazers' year has certainly been injuries. But one of the most significant ones, as we have said, if not the most significant one, was right before the regular season, as through training, you had already loosened your tie and everything. Through training camp and the preseason, Nicholas Batum played and looked good. Then he has the shoulder surgery, has to go out, and for a guy who started 76 for Portland last year, 76 games, and was the glue, that was a tough one to take for Portland. So I think a lot of people forget about that injury as maybe being the most significant.
Yeah, if you look at it, Nicholas checks the most dangerous scorer on the other team all the time. You take that away.
Power forward,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Everything. And then you take a guy named Greg Oden and Przybilla away, and that's your inside defense, and really your defense is gone. So Nate McMillan's done a great job of patchwork as far as keeping the defense honest until these guys can get back.
Certainly has. Nate and his staff. This team is about to get their 41st win of the season. They've already equaled last year's loss total at 28. But at 41 and 28, and still with a chance to move up in the Western race, it's not secured yet, totally playoff picture, but Memphis losing to Denver last night was a big loss for the Grizzlies at home. Yeah. And again, not decided yet completely, but time's running out on some of those teams who are 9th, 10th, and 11th in the West.
Well, this is the Blazers' 4th straight win. Oklahoma City has 5 straight wins. Denver has 6 straight wins.
How are you going to make up ground on anybody?
Yeah.
And San Antonio's gotten big wins there.
If you played 500 ball the whole year like Houston and New Orleans and Memphis have, I mean, all of a sudden you're not going to be a 10 above 500 team.
Blazers will take the turnover. That puts them at 10 for the game, which is just below their season average. So I was told it would take 110 points to win this game. I was lied to. It took 109.
And one of my keys, first to 100.
Yeah, well, that helped.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2 games of holding the high-powered Toronto Raptors under 100. They held them to 87 in Toronto and to 98 here at the Rose Garden. Blazers sweep the season series for the 2nd straight year from the Raptors, and Toronto ends up coming west and going 0 for 4.
Ooh.
No shame in that, coming west where it is brutal. As we throw it down to Rebecca Harlow standing by with Frenchie.
Yeah, down here with a guy who knows to get it done on both ends of the floor. Nick, this Toronto team put together a run at the beginning of the 4th quarter, but then you were the one that was able to get your shot there offensively. How'd you get open in the back half of this quarter?
You know, everybody's focused on Brandon or Marcus, so I got my open shot. I just try to, when I got the point, I open just to make it. That's it.
When you take a look at the offense for the night, 3 of the starters, 20-plus points for all of you. How were you able to spread the ball around so well tonight?
No, we tried to move the ball to be aggressive. Everybody is aggressive, you know. Marcus got rebounds, Drake makes a good pass, so just try to make it. Brandon going offense, LA too. I just try to do my job on it.
Over the last month or so, you've been making such an impact on the offensive end of the floor. You've been telling me that your goal is consistency. How do you feel you've been doing in that category? Are you liking the points that you've been able to bring every night?
I think I did a better job than last year. You know, last year I was a rookie. I just learned the NBA world now. I just try to keep playing every night, to do the same job every night. I did a great job this year.
Very, very rare stretch. You guys have a couple of days with no ball games. You don't have to play again until Friday. I'm sure you're looking forward to resting the body a bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, take some rest now. Almost 70 games we play. 3 games of rest, take care of our body and be ready for Friday.
Congratulations, Nick. Mike.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Nicholas doesn't need rest. It's only his 24th game of the season. He missed games due to injury.
Yeah,
The Blazers, who have played more games than any team in the NBA, indeed now get what amounts to as a second All-Star break. They don't play again until Friday. But they get the victory tonight to improve to 41-28 over Toronto. Back to wrap it up from the Garden after this.